Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. And we just going to have a little watch along tonight because I did not feel like taking notes and watching it 4-5 times to get my notes together and then come to y'all. So I said, no, let's just have a watch along. You understand? I screen recorded it. I uploaded it first to be sure it did not get flagged, okay, by Carlos Know the King, okay? And as far as I know, what I posted earlier privately did not get flagged, so we should be good to go for tonight, okay? But again, a conversation will be had about the foolishness that is what went on between Nene and Carlos King on their little interview today and whatnot. Okay, now look, have I been live? I don't think I've been live. I can't remember because my brain ain't right. But hey, y'all, happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a good day. I hope y'all all had a good weekend, and we're gonna have a good tonight and a good tomorrow too, and a good rest of our week and whatnot. Okay, but y'all know first things first. If you have not done so already, take a little moment, okay? Take a little moment and watch. Take a little moment and subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, and because it's the thing to do. It really is. Okay, if you ain't doing nothing else, why is you not being an active participant and a subscriber and watching the content? Okay, watch the what? Watch the content. Okay, anyway. Also, like the video. Okay, like the video, please and thank you. You can also follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and Tik of the top. Okay, it's also the thing to do. Share the video and all of that, and all of that, and all of that. Now, I am here where I'm at. Girl, why can't I get this thing around here? Hi, hello to the people. Hello to the people. My phone people. I don't know. But anyway. Okay, hey y'all, how y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Let me say, have I been live, y'all? I know I put up some premieres because I wasn't live Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I think this may be my first time live since Thursday. Now the algorithm is playing with me. I can see it in my views. Even when I was trying to put up a video Monday, like it was not show. I was like, what is wrong? Y'all know when you don't be on the thing for a couple of days that you drop out the algorithm, you all discombobulated or whatever. And that's what's going on. So y'all, thank y'all for being here, and thank y'all for those who will be watching the replay and whatnot. Okay. But if I have not seen y'all since Thursday, hi. Anyway, how y'all doing? How was everyone? Hello, hope y'all all having a good day. Hey. Get ready to talk about Nene and her selective. Look, I was watching this interview, watching. And I was like, Nene really operates as a person who believes her own delusions. And I feel like she feels like if she say enough that we'll believe it. And I'm like, no. For me, I'm like, it makes you look crazier than what you really is, okay? But I believe that being what not even saying, look, I could not do it. Now, the first interview, which was an hour and a half, that I took notes for because I just wasn't prepared to screen record and have watch along. But because I knew this was coming today, I was like, okay, it's gonna come today, whatever. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get into it. And as I was watching this, when I was like, oh no, we need to watch Nene talk and have the commentary between me and y'all because I have things to say. Okay, I was posting on Twitter earlier today. You know, there's a couple of notions that I felt, whatever, I shared that to my IG because I just feel like, okay, Nene round here acting like we ain't see what we saw, okay? And I don't understand. Not I miss you, Mrs. Whitehead. That is funny. But it's kind of crazy. Hey, my, that's my mother. Y'all, my mother been traveling. You hear me? And I ain't been saying because I don't, when my mama is traveling, I don't say nothing because I'm like, I don't want folks nothing at home. But honey, she done been on a cruise. She done been to New York twice. Out here, Empire State building it up and doing all, girl, out here just flourishing in these streets or whatever. Finally got live. And so, look, I ain't been live. I think since Thursday. I really think it's been since Thursday. I get, because look, y'all know I be on here. I be having to watch content. I work all day on a computer. So my eyes were like aggravating me or whatever. So I just took a few days to not look at nothing deliberately. I was listening and watching some TV, but not have to look and screenshot and this and that and that and this. I just kind of chilled out or whatever. I did not mean to do that from Friday until like Monday, but it happened. Okay, but we back now. Okay, and I'm looking. And I also told you, look, don't be forgetting. Now look, because if y'all don't know, I've done a couple gospel chats. A Monday afternoon little chat is up on my channel. Have you watched it? Have you seen it? Go watch it, okay? And then even early today, I had a whole gospel. Did you watch it? If not, go watch it, okay? Well, I also finally I did one episode of Love and Marriage Detroit. Okay. I did episode 1. I'm going to do the rest of the episodes this week. But I'm out here showing y'all content. It's in the premiere state. Okay. I told y'all, okay, I'm not always only putting out live. I'm having to put out some premieres too. So make sure y'all is looking at the premiere stuff too. Not just my live stuff. It's both. I'm entertaining them both ways. Okay, it happens in stuff. Okay, I don't totally agree with everything Nene recalled, but she did have some valid points too. I feel like Nene's valid points gets buried beneath Nene's bullshit, and Nene would talk for the thing was 3 hours. Okay. And out of the 2.5, 2.45 hours time that she talked, she did have a couple of valid points here and there. But in between, in the front of, and behind those valid points was Nene's bullshit. And it's hard to take the valid points serious when there's so much other bullshit to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part I think people don't get about how I feel about it. Because I look, no one is taking away the fact that Nene Leakes is Nene Leakes, and no one is saying that everything she says is wrong. And she do have valid points at times, but she stack it and place it with so much B of the S. We don't care about the valid points because you surrounding it with garbage. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Girl, we good. Your freestyle keeps me attention. I like getting your initial look. My initial reactions to things is fun because with y'all and the watch-alongs or whatever, I can freely be me. I can freely say what I want to say. You know, I know how to cuss the right way and not get flagged. I know how to drink water so my mouth not get dry as I'm talking. Okay, and whatnot. But I'm just here to be, you know what I'm saying, a true I'm here to give my opinion. Okay, come on now, look, because if you are a member of JayLeesCorner, all the premieres you see before anybody else. There's no ads, so all my members watch stuff. Anything I premiere, and premiere will be mostly the TV shows, some gossip chats too, but I put it up for them first. It's no ads on it. You know what I'm saying? So you wake up in the morning, boom, because me. Okay, so shout out to my members who are enjoying the perks of getting the content first. You hear me? The content's first. The content's first. The content's first. Yeah. Okay. All comments and statements, dialogue, and opinions given are commentary only, not necessarily proven as a fact, and are for entertainment purposes only. Love, light, and positivity in the midst of foolishness. Okay? Yes. 3 hours for the second part. It just sounded like Nene was talking a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of whatever. And I'm like, get out our face, Nene. Get out our face. I have the 2 episodes of the new Housewives of New York. I'm gonna try to get into it this weekend to see. I'm hearing really, really good things. And because it's a whole new group of people, I may review it. I don't know yet. I have to still do the last episodes of Housewives of Atlanta, which I watch. I just have to get the review out. But y'all know that will be at the premiere. Okay. Would I go to BravoCon? No. I am not a fan of any event with an exuberant amount of people. I don't like it. Okay. If BravoCon was more organized, because anybody can go to BravoCon. It's thousands of people. It's a whole bunch of lines. I'm not guaranteed a seat on a panel to see the folk. I'm saying, no. Will I ever want to go? Maybe. But right now, no. And this one is in Vegas. I did look at tickets. Just to see. Maybe next year. I feel like I don't watch enough Bravo shows. Y'all don't watch my reviews of Bravo shows enough for me to spend that kind of money to go and hope to get some content. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference for me. But maybe next year I'll think, Jaylee, just go and just vlog it. But this year, and also because when I looked to get tickets this year, they were sold out immediately. And I'm like, I ain't got time. If I can't get a ticket right now, leave me be. Maybe. But you know what I'm saying? I'll watch other folks who go to Bravo kind of have fun, but I don't want to do it. But let's get into what we came here to get into, and that is the foolishness of Nene and Carlos. Now, I want to make a statement, okay? I am not a Nene hater, okay? I am not someone who has never liked Nene. I I enjoy Nene in the doses that Nene come with. You hear me? Thank you, Arturo, for the cash app. I enjoy Nene in that aspect, but I'm also wise enough to know Nene be making up stuff, and sometimes her hardcore fans and stans, they allow Nene to feel like she's always right. Even we see that she's sitting right in the corner wrong. And I enjoyed the interview for what it was. I'm not saying it was a bad interview. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, my point is, in watching it, I can just see the bullshit. Now, in the interview part one, she talked about Cynthia a little bit, okay? And Cynthia was on the 2Ps of the podcast discussing, and I forgot to do this last time. We're going to get into that a little bit right here. Because I feel like Nene tries to shade every housewife, everyone. She shades everybody who has been on that show from day one until day to day. And considering the fact that her and Cynthia were really good friends at one point in time, and she was saying how Cynthia tried to ruin her bag, get her money gone, and get her fired, and blah, 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 blah. I meant to discuss Cynthia's response before, but I forgot. Okay, so we're going to watch it today. It's only like 7 minutes or whatever. But we'll then get into Nene this time, okay? So, 2Ps in the pot. Let me also say this. It aggravates me that so many of the housewives go on these podcasts with people who I feel like no one watching that podcast probably watched the show. Now, Cynthia is not on. Lauren, shut up. And I mean that lovingly. Not hours, probably. It's not gonna be 4 hours because Nene thing I sped up so it's like 48 minutes. It's gonna probably be 2 hours and that's it. We're not gonna be 4 because I'm tired. But I saw this and laughed all out of my head. Okay, but no, but I forgot what I was thinking. Lauren made me laugh. Cynthia and them. It aggravates me. Why y'all being shady? Y'all know. Look, this is the weird thing. When I first started doing reviews at YouTube and do work with, when I first started doing reviews or whatever, I was trying to be very, very quick, and I talk too much to be quick. And I was very subconscious about the length of my videos because I always felt like they were too long. But over time, y'all have told me that y'all like the longer videos or whatever, but I still be trying my best, the best to leave y'all on regular days to look between 2 and 2.5 hours. And that's why for this, it's strictly only Nene stuff. The gossipy stuff, which we'll do tomorrow, I'm not going to do none of that. Okay, not gonna do none of that. But if we end up being 3 hours, don't judge me. Okay, don't leave me alone. But no, back to Cynthia. It aggravates me that so many of the housewife people or so many people from Bravo be on the 2. They go to podcasts where the fans don't really watch. Like nobody who watched Cynthia is watching the fucking 2 pieces of podcast. It's stupid. Okay, it makes me mad. It aggravates me. Okay, it makes me very upset. Now, I know Bondi was just on Speak On It with Candy. They talked about the episode, and I seen Bondi say how a lot of the females in this genre, okay, gets played when it comes to getting attention from the upper echelon of the stars, okay, meaning a lot of the gay boys, and I'm calling what it is. A lot of the male producers in these shows give content, give connections, give attention to the male people, the male YouTubers, or whatever, and not us. And that's true. So when I heard Cynthia doing the two piece in the podcast, I was like, Cynthia, your fans ain't watching two piece in the podcast, not at all. Okay, I had some chicken Alfredo. It's on my tongue, and so it be some B of the S. So I tried my best to feel like I don't want my channel being based on who can I get on here to get y'all to watch. I really want y'all to watch for me, because the females in this game, we don't get, what I'm saying, the attention we should get. Okay, and I'm still new. I'm new. I'm telling you I'm new. Okay. Anyway, I'm just not let me get my my put past my gas or whatever. But I love y'all. Okay, now let's get into Cynthia.
Nene Leakes was on Carlos King. It was just released, and this is what she had to say about you.
What?
She loved Cynthia like a sister, that it looked like Nene was more of a leader in their friendship, but it was quite different than what it seemed. I'm okay with this statement. However, then it goes, what?
So far, so good. Keep going.
Then she says she will never be friends with Cynthia again because Cynthia tried to get Nene fired and stop her bag. She could work with her again, but never respect her. She said Cynthia had an alliance with producers. What is your response on this?
Okay, I almost don't even want to respond because it's so ridiculous. First of all, I'm the first person to give Nene Leakes her flowers, whether or not she will give me even the water to put some flowers in. Okay?
And that's the sad part, because it's true. You hear me? It's true. Now, I don't think we've ever heard Cynthia downplay Nene. We haven't. I don't think we've ever heard Cynthia be like, you know what I'm saying, forget Nene. Nene ain't nothing. But we have heard Nene do that to Cynthia time and time and time again. And I'm like, Nene, it really be you.
I don't even think I can get the water, but I'm the first to say, when you think of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, you think of Nene Leakes, period. The woman definitely put the show on the map, okay? She's amazing TV. Her personality is off the chain. She's good TV. And when we were friends, it was great. And I never say anything but that. So, first of all, number one, I don't have the power to get Nene Leakes fired from anything. I couldn't get Nene Leakes fired from Taco Bell, okay?
You're like, I couldn't even keep myself hired.
I also want to say the two P's, I think it's Tamara and is it Teddy Mellencamp? I think that's what it is. They need to shut up sometime. A key part in interviewing folks online is sometimes shut up and let them talk. Okay, you wait for a pause and then go in. But I felt like just stop talking now, because it's, and I also agree. Cynthia does not have the power to get Nene fired. Cynthia didn't have the power to keep herself hired. Okay, so again, Nene make it seem like, oh, Cynthia was trying to get me taken out. No, she wasn't. Now she may not have been kissing your ass, but that's different.
I mean, okay, well, I'm not even on the show. So if I have all this power, how am I not even on the show anymore? But anyway, make it make sense. So first of all, I don't have the power to tell a network what to do with an incredible talent such as Nene Leakes, who clearly is amazing TV. And if I did, let's just say I did for some insane reason, have this power to control the network and make them fire her or try to convince them to. Why would I want to? The most successful shows we had on Housewives was when she was a part of the cast. Actually, right. But we were friends too.
I feel like no one tried to get Nene fired. I feel like Nene started giving them her ass a kiss and people to stop putting up with it. So I feel like maybe one production was asking, is Nene being difficult? Well, Nene being Nene. You know what I'm saying? A little bit, but Nene. I feel like it's that kind of stuff. The production, the network started getting tired of Nene antics. And if they asked the cast, well, is she being a good sport? Well, not really. Nene was being Nene too damn much, and they got her bit in the ass.
So, doesn't that make your life easier when someone's good TV?
It was great to even be paired with her. They paired me with her when I started the show, and I was under her umbrella for a few years, so I had that safety of not having to ever go against her. So, which was great. So I never had a reason to.
I forgot to redo it. Well, we're gonna see what it is.
To not want her on the show. I think she's great for the show.
I hate my graphic got messed up. Y'all don't like my graphics.
I've always. So why would she even say that? What has happened between when you guys were on the show and now? Because I've been with you off this podcast plenty of times and we've had conversations about the women. Not that I'm going to say here, but you never.
Then why bring it up, white lady? Why bring up that y'all have had conversation about the people, but then say you're not gonna bring it up? Don't be dry snitching.
Never had anything but positive things to say about Nene.
Nothing but positive things to say.
She got Carlos. She don't need Bravo. Nene and wait, do you mean? I know you don't mean Nene don't need Bravo because Cynthia don't have Carlos. Nene don't have Carlos. Because Carlos ain't got her on no show. I'm just saying. Carlos ain't helped Nene get a show that we know of. He may have talked to her in a studio for this interview for his channel, which got him paid. I'm just saying.
Like, I honestly don't know where that is coming from and why she thinks that. And it really hurts me that she thinks like, but when I'm friends with someone and we break off or whatever, I still try to actually hold on to the good that I actually saw in this person. So I don't think that I'm crazy for being friends with them this long. Like there was something good there that kept, the energy that was good that made me want to be friends with them. So the fact that she even thinks that she could even just publicly say this, that I would do that, is really hurtful.
Then she continues on and says more, Cynthia. So then she goes.
Lord!
Not the white ladies, not the white folks snitching on Nene to Cynthia.
What else?
Yes. Then she said, Cynthia is very different off the show. Cynthia created a character for the show to appear differently than she really is. Cynthia is more vocal off the show than on the show.
Okay. She's talking about 50 Cent. I think we all can get upset on the show. We all can act a fool on the show when we get ready to. Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone is done. We can all get pissed off. We can all lose it. We can all snap. I named that part of me 50 Cent, which didn't come out much because honestly, I didn't have that much drama on the 11 years that I was on the show. But yes, am I capable of getting somebody together and flipping out and going crazy like every other housewife does? Absolutely. But is it something that I thrive on? And I'm like, hey, this is the person that I really want to be. Because actually, if I was that person all the time, I would probably still be on the show.
Facts. Has Cynthia been messy and always beefing with somebody, whatever, and bringing that drama, she would have still been on the show. Cynthia is a connection. Cynthia is a person who gets along with everybody, and she can be the peacemaker, whatever. She don't have drama like that. Even though her and Peter went to some drama a little bit. But again, Cynthia is easygoing. Okay, not for Cynthia kicked Portia in the stomach because Portia was on top of her. They was fussing. That was self-defense. Okay. I also believe Tamara is the white version of Nene because when Tamara and Vicky were, put off of OC, when they were, demoted and then fired, you know what I'm saying? Things happened. So I am very well aware of how Tamara really is. Because I was watching OC when she was on there. The fact that she's back to me is proof that if you sometimes you sit down and shut up, they'll bring it back if they want to. Nene did not. Nene created a ruckus, thinking the ruckus would get her back on the show, and it backfired. But Tamara 100% is a Caucasian version of the Nene Elite. I fully agree.
But the flip side of that is I actually try to carry myself with some class and grace. I've been that person you can go and do all your research for years and years and years.
My graphic is back.
I'm only out of character when I'm taken out of character. Yes, 50 Cent lives inside when somebody bothers me and somebody comes for me and I have to defend myself. I don't like for her to come out, but she can. And that's it. So
everyone has a side. I have JayLeesha, when I get upset and pissed off, JayLeesha shows her ugly head. I cuss folks out and I calm on down. But you don't want to have to bring that person out in your 40s or in your 50s. You don't want to do that.
Just like she has her other side, which they can pull plenty of footage from her, flipping out. So we're not going to act like I'm the only 50 Cent running around.
Yeah, I mean, I think clearly everybody has a side of them that they don't want to show. And they, not just on television, but in general.
Absolutely.
Like there are times when I get pissed about something and then I'm like added 10 and I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. There was a typo on the website. It's not, like reel yourself in, take
Absolutely.
a breath. And then there are other times where I feel really justified, and then I'm crazier.
Yeah. And can I just tell you this? Every time I did get out of character on the show, I always hated it. I'm like, damn it, why did I let that person or this situation take me there? I'm better than this. I don't have to do this to be able to communicate my feelings. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something that I'm like, hey, I know how to like cuss a bitch out. Hey, I know how to like check somebody. I'm not that person. Yes, can I do it? 100%. Will I do it if I need to? 200%. But is it like something I want to be known for? No, not really.
Her point is my go-to is not Checker Beach. My go-to is not 50 Cent. That ain't my go-to. Is if I have to, I can go there, but that ain't my first stop. Okay, if Nene didn't sue with these boring seasons and changes in her life, she could have made them back up. Look, because we ain't even got to the Nene part. That's gonna be next. But I'm gonna say this: had Nene not sued, had Nene not called them folk racist people who would, all that stuff, had she just been pissed off and saying she was upset that her time got cut on the show, truth be told, once Greg died, they would have had her come back fully. They would have had her come back, and she would have went back too. And if not that, now the stuff going on with her son, they would have brought her back to get that drama. However, she's burned too many bridges. She's burned all the bridges. She's done all the damage. And now she's have to live with the bridges she burned. Ain't no truck to back up and pick you up and put you back on track with Bravo, because you've done too much. Too much. Okay, now let's get to, and I told her we're not going to be here no 18 hours. We finna get into Nene's stuff. And again, it's only 48 minutes. So yes, that can be 2 hours. But we're going to get into Nene today. Y'all know tomorrow is the full gospel show. Today is strictly Nene. Okay, let's go.
Do you feel the need to sue Bravo, NBC, and Andy Cohen?
Yeah. I also feel like it's the fact that Nene sued everybody. She didn't just sue the production company. She sued the network. Andy Cohen. She sued everybody from top to the bottom. And before she sued them, it was the slanderous things, and I'm not saying what she said was true or false. However, what you say has consequences. And you were saying things about them that I think she thought, if I say these things, they'll leave me alone. They'll want me back too. They're not going to try to cut me down. They're going to want me back even more. And I was like, ma'am, no. And the reason is, before they cut her down, they were already tired of her antics. That be the gotcha. Had Nene did all this around season 8, they may have begged her to come back, because at that point in time, she was enjoyable. By season 12, Nene was aggravating everyone. And she had been doing that for a couple of seasons. And so once you get on everybody's nerve, they don't have to keep you around here no more. So Nene sued everybody.
First of all, I can't say that much about it because we are still, in our lawsuit. But
I could have swore they said their lawsuit was dismissed. I could have swore. So the fact that there's still some kind of lawsuit going on, there's still some kind of suation going on, to me means you still fussing with these folks. How are you fussing with these folks, wanting to work with these folks, but make up your mind. Do you want to be back in their good graces on their network, or no? You can't go in both ways. Most people who sue people do not want to be on those same people's programming. That's stupid. That's dumb. So what is you now doing? And people wonder why Bravo be like, we not saying her name. We're going to leave that lady be. We're going to leave her be. And I know that dismiss with prejudice does mean it can be revisited, but you would think she would leave it alone. But no, that to me shows how crazy she is, because she would let go. She went on a I hate them people, they this and that press tour, dogging producers, Andy, the network, the production company, whatever, did all that, sued them. It got dismissed, but she's still around here saying, well, I'll come back for the fans. I'll come back for the fans. While still saying, well, I can't say much for the lawsuit because it's still pending, meaning she still wants to sue them. So when her fans, well, why they taking her off this? Because look at what she doing. We not finna be around here using you in nothing. Now they can't take away all the old episodes. They can't do that. But they not promoting and showing nothing that shows Nene, because of what she's doing. That ain't how business works.
But I had a love and respect for them that I honestly don't think they ever had for me. Honestly. And
What? What?
to this day, I still respect them for what they do. They do it great. You cannot take that away from them. They're great at what they do.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I wasn't experienced enough to know that in a lot of these corporate places, they don't love you. I mean,
You ain't never had a job. Nene talks as if she was a slave off the plantation and had no idea how life worked. She was so covered up and protected by massa that she had no idea what it felt like to be a regular working person around here. Now you gonna say, oh, they did great. They're great what they do. You know, they did. But I don't think they had any respect for me. Girl, we always say the only thing you can control is what you own and what you do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm not defending Bravo and them. I'm not defending them. What I'm saying is we all have to be aware who we work for is who we work for. And when you've been working somewhere for a long time, if you start to see, if you work at Walmart, okay, if you work at Walmart, and if you're used to working 40 hours a week, and for 11 seasons, 11 years, you worked 40 hours, and then come season 12, you cut down to 30 hours. Well, that's weird. And then you cut down to 25 hours. Well, that's weird. And your hours keep getting cut. Even if you've been working there for 30 years, when you realize all of a sudden your hours keep getting cut and cut and cut and cut and cut, that means the writing is on the wall. You start trying to figure out what else to do. Nene never thought to figure out something else to do because Nene always depended on Bravo to be her job. She never bet on herself. So now she want to say how, well, you know, they were great, but they didn't respect me. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? They don't have respect. What? That also show how disassociated she is from reality and regular working people. Nene was paid handsomely for the years she was on that show. Nene was happy, and y'all are gonna get mad at me. Nene was happy being a house Negro because she was treated great. She was treated great as a house Negro. For years, she was the best house Negro around. She didn't care about what anyone else was going through because she was being treated great by who she was working for. She didn't care about who below her, next to her, wasn't getting as much money from her, getting as much money, as much clout, as much shine. She didn't care. Once Nene was treated like the field Negroes, who maybe does not get the most attention, you know what I'm saying? They still working for the man every night and day. Once she started feeling like regular working folk, now she had a problem. Now she had a problem. People don't like admitting that because some folks are so, I'm team, okay, cool, you be team Nene. I don't care. Nene wasn't team Nene. Nene was team Bravo. That's why Nene now is an unemployed star who can't get booked for a show because Nene wasn't team Nene. When you attach yourself to somebody else's brand, when you help build somebody else's brand without building your own brand, you're stupid. You're foolish. You team so-and-so. I told y'all the time day one, I'm team JayLeesCorner. Nene was never team Nene. She might have said team Nene. Nene was team Bravo. Nene said, I built the house. I built Housewives up. I built up Watch What Happens Live. What did Nene build for Nene? Think about it. Y'all can look, and I'm not saying y'all, I'm saying in general. Ain't nothing wrong with working at Bravo and being the highest paid housewife. But if you don't see the writing on the wall, if you don't see that you need to build your own shit, then you the fool. Nene thought she was a Bravo exec, and she wasn't. But let's keep listening.
You're here to work, and then they can throw you out the door anytime they feel like it. I love them, and I had personal relationships with them because when I started Bravo,
let her tell you how she know the folk.
They were big, but they weren't big like they are now. So my contact people I talked directly to, the president of the network. And
as she said, when I started at Bravo, Bravo then they weren't who they are now, but neither was Nene. No one at Bravo season 1 of OC, of Jersey, of OC, Jersey, Atlanta, New York. No one during their first seasons was who they are now. No one. So Nene talking as if, well, Bravo then wasn't Bravo like it was now, and neither were you. We didn't know none of y'all then. Just saying. And her saying, I could call the president, cool. Again, because you in the house.
Directly to Andy and directly to all the executives. I just talked to them directly, emailed them directly, called their phones directly. Today, they have grown so big that people aren't talking to them directly. You're talking to someone else to get to them and that kind of thing.
And now she can call them directly. So Nene likes to brag. I could call them directly. The other ones, they couldn't do that. They talk to someone who's... But ma'am, you can't get through right now. So you were so busy being happy, being in the house with Massa and them, with the big boss, the president of the company. You were so happy. She just said, I was able to call directly to the top people. The other ones had to call somebody who was somebody's assistant. They didn't have access like I did. And she didn't care because she had access. So again, when you so gung-ho about building up somebody else and speaking negatively about other folks who don't have the connections you do, them same people is in the house that you built because you didn't build your own house.
All I ever wanted on this show was to be treated fairly. And a lot of girls and the people that work on the show and behind the scene know that there was things that just were not fair at all. And it pains me and hurts me deeply how I fought for some of the girls that are on the show and how they did not fight for me.
Oh, okay, let's touch on that. I fought for the girls who I just said did not have the same access I had. And I feel bad. They didn't fight for me. It hurt. They didn't fight for me. You didn't fight for you. If you were the main attraction, if you were the main act, if you was prom queen around there, why would anyone need to fight for you? You were top dog. You felt like you didn't need other folk. Let's not forget, you left and went to Hollywood, failed at Hollywood and came back, and you were then a bit different. You wanting people you stepped over, walked around because you felt too good to be around them. You now want their help to help you because you built a hand that fed you for years. Again, you built a house and did not build yourself nothing. You built up Bravo and watch what happened live in the Housewives of Atlanta, and you did not build anything for yourself. And look, y'all may not like it, but it's true. Candy built Candy. Candy built Candy's brand. Even Portia don't need Bravo. I mean, she has silent money, but Portia still has Portia money too. You know what I'm saying? Cynthia left the show and she's now acting. She don't need Bravo either. A lot of, right, Bethany. You know, Bethany, who I don't like, I can take her or leave her. Bethany built something outside of Bravo. Everyone should try to build something outside of whoever they're working for. I have a regular full-time 9-to-5 job. But this here, JayLeesCorner, is mine. And I'm going to build my brand. Because somebody else, Nene allowed Bravo to make her feel like, or she thought like, I will always be good because I'll just keep working off them. Okay. Nene felt like, well, I don't have to build my own. I don't have to build my own. I can keep living off Bravo. I can keep living off Bravo. Bravo, 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 Bravo. And the shit backfired. Completely.
To stay on the show and how much I fought for them to stay on the show. That's very painful. And
Who exactly?
the cast, period.
Okay.
Like, all of these girls know that there was
Put a name on it.
unfair treatment because we all have been in group text messages where all of these girls have texted and said that they were feeling unfair treatment. They didn't get fair treatment. There's no secret. I have the text messages. They have the text messages. We've all been in group text messages for a very long time since we've been on the show, right?
Well, Nene been off the show since season 12. They're now on season 15. And I want to say this. Do people complain about their jobs? Everybody do. Everybody has conversations with their coworkers complaining about their job. Complaining that you pissed about this, that, or the other does not mean that your notions match Nene's notions. Because Nene's notions are self-inflicted. Nene's notions are for Nene alone. Because you can't sit up here and talk cash shit about each and every cast member, but then say, oh, y'all were upset. We all were, saying how things were not fair. I think over the years, many things at Bravo went left, right, up, down, and around. I think at many places, one or all of them had a complaint here or there. However, everyone also knew when you at any job is not going to be perfect. Sometimes you do make the best of a bad situation until things are fixed, and you make sure that you have other means to live your life than this thing here. So now she wants to make it seem as if we've been complaining. I had the text to prove it. Well, post the text. Put the text in the goddamn court documents.
So I know the complaints. There's been times when we have complained and we all sat with the executives to talk about, things that we felt that were not fair. And I just felt like I wasn't getting fair treatment. And I feel like I should have been treated differently. And I should have been giving better, fair treatment.
I should have been given better treatment. I should have gotten this. Not we. I should have. Me.
That's it. And I want you to know that I have always, from day one, been very open to sitting down and having a conversation to figure out how to work anything out, how to move forward, how to just anything that we could do to just move forward. I've always
right to move forward, not to fix shit. I've always been open to conversations to fix it, to move forward. Why? Because Nene only wants to be back on Bravo. She not saying that she wanted to fix the issues. What can we do? What conversation can be had to move forward, to keep going, for me to keep working? Not to fix the issues that we've been complaining about. No, I've always been open to keep moving. If my job made me feel like they were racially insensitive and all these things and all the things that she alleged that Bravo was, I would not want to go back. If you fired me, because Nene was fired, if you fired me, I'm going to sue you for unemployment. You know what I'm saying? And if I sue you for discrimination, I'm going to follow through. I'm not going to say I'm going to sue you unless you give my job back. Because suing somebody to get your job back is stupid because the culture is the same. All that's changed is you got your job still.
Been very open to that. I can't say that the other side has been that way, but I have always been open. So I see a lot of people commenting and saying things like, why y'all can't work it out, or why can't y'all do this? I've always been open to working it out. I've always, people say, well, maybe Nene didn't want to do. That's not true. I've always been open to working it out. I've always been open to having a conversation. They have never wanted to have a conversation.
You wanna know why? Because what you said. Because of what you said, Nene really makes it seem like this is the crazy part. They didn't want to work it out. It was them, not me. They didn't want me. It wasn't me, it was them. I'm like, girl. Okay.
They've never wanted to move forward in any kind of way.
Is what led to it was that you were negotiating to come back season 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Maybe that. And allegedly, you were offered a limited role to come back, a maximum of 6 episodes.
That's right.
Out of what we now know to be 20-something. And was that the start of you realizing that, okay, I'm not getting the treatment that I deserve as an OG, as the person who gives so much to the show, that you have these other girls who don't give y'all nothing, and they get 14 episode guarantee, minimally. And here I am getting 6. Was that the moment you realized something had to be done?
No. I realized a long time ago.
Okay.
And I think that, I'm not sure if they realized that I realized that I wasn't getting fair treatment. I knew it a long time ago. I had been watching it for so freaking long. And as time went on, my episodes, got less and less and less and less. It was like a phase out. You started out with 20 or 18, and you went to 16, and you went to 15, and you went to 12, then you went to 10, then you went to 8, then you went to 6. And I'm thinking, you guys are offering me 6 episodes? Like, no, this has nothing to do with I'm Nene Leakes, and I started from the beginning. It was just like, why am I being offered 6 episodes? Like, explain that to me. And the only explanation that I could get was that you're unhappy. So, in my mind, you gonna tell me I'm unhappy? How can you tell me that I'm unhappy? I'm not unhappy. What do you mean?
You seemed unhappy. My ice machine was like in my ice machine. You seemed unhappy. If y'all remember, it was Nene last season was season 12. Seasons 10, 11, and 12, it was a different Nene. She seemed unhappy. She seemed like she didn't want to be there. And she acted as if it was above her. Like, she acted like she did not want to be there. But because she had all these connections to being there so long, it's a house that Nene built, she felt like she could just be an asshole and keep getting a check. And I told y'all when she said earlier that they kept, maybe she ain't said it yet, but how they kept cutting her episodes. The writing was on the wall because of how you was coming off to people. And she just never felt like they would let her ass go. And now she want to act like, well, how can y'all say I was unhappy? Because they were recording you and tracing your steps and watching your life and watching how you acted around folk and all the bullshit. How you show your unhappiness in many ways, but because you felt like you had the executives and the president and Andy in your side pocket, You thought you were above reproach. You thought they would not get rid of you. And if I'm not mistaken, when Nene left was fired from the show, I think what's the name? The OC people was gone. Vicky was gone from OC, who was the season 1 person. I think Lisa Vanderpump was already gone from Housewives of LA. I think a lot of people who were the only season 1 people still left is Teresa and Kim. Not Kim. Teresa and what's that? Kyle on Beverly Hills. Teresa is Jersey. When they held up production when Teresa was in prison, I say they ain't gonna let her go. Teresa is gonna be on there for a minute. That it is what it is. I feel like they are trying to get rid of Kyle. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird that Nene don't get, had she just not been such a bitch to everybody, to production, to the other castmates, hell, to Andy and them. You know what I'm saying? She put herself in that predicament. Nene did not keep her unhappiness to making the show work. Teresa, I'm tired of Teresa, but her antics with Melissa makes the show work. She comes and she works. As aggravating as she is, Kyle is a shit stirrer. It still works. Nene wasn't starting shit. She was just being shitty. And they could afford not to have her own no more. And that's what they did.
I just get 6 episodes because you think that I'm unhappy. Why am I unhappy? I'm unhappy that I got 6 episodes.
You were unhappy before that. Nene had been unhappy before the ending of season 12. We, the fans, felt that way. It happened with Vicky and Tamara from Right, who were on OC, Ramona, Dorinda, and I don't watch New York, but I also know a lot of their, season 1, these OGs were gone too. The only show that it hasn't happened with that is now it's just oh girl, I keep forgetting Jersey and Beverly Hills with Teresa and Kyle. I do not see them getting rid of Teresa, but I can see them trying to demote Kyle with the next 2 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, also her taking the cameraman. Right, Jill Zarin too. So I feel like when Nene says stuff as in, why am I being demoted? Why am I only getting 6 episodes? It had happened at that point in time to other OGs too.
I mean, shouldn't I get more than 6 episodes?
No.
Like, why is it a phase out? When there's other girls who are not the same complexion as me and started as an original housewife, why are they being offered 18 episodes? And I am being offered 6 episodes. What did I do?
Ma'am, a lot.
Because I don't know anything that I've done ever on this show that no other housewife in this franchise have not done. I've not done anything that no one else has done. There's been physical altercations on all of these shows, and I've not been involved in any physical altercation, right?
Not on camera. Not on camera. That's it. Not on camera. And she's saying this as in the housewives who are OGs, who are no longer on the show, did not have the same phase out. The only reason they have not phased out everybody is probably because of what happened with Nene. It was a phase out. But Nene felt like I will always be top dog, no matter what. I will always be the queen round here.
There's so many times when people say things to me like, you pulled Kim wig. I said, you got it very mixed up.
Well, that was Sheree. But we know We know that Kim accused Nene of choking her seasons ago. But again, it had nothing to do with Nene being demoted slowly but surely and phasing out over the seasons, let's say 10, 11, and 12, had nothing to do with anything prior seasons. It had everything to do with how Nene was acting after she came back when Nene left to go to Hollywood. I think that was season 8 or 9 when she left and came back, and she came back bitchier because I think Nene felt defeated that she could not make it outside of Bravo, and she had to come back, tuck her tail, and be like, oh, okay. It was her. So it had nothing to do with anything from seasons 1 through 7. Nothing. Nene, phasing out had everything to do with how she was acting from seasons, I would say 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Never pulled Kim's wig. That was Sheree that pulled Kim's wig, okay? Be clear about who pulled it. I was standing there, right? And then people say, you got into a fight with Kim. Where is the fight? Did you
On the cutting room floor.
see it? Where is it? Was it on camera? Where is the fight?
Which lets us know she fought. Her and Kim got into some kind of altercation just off camera. But again, that ain't, because when that happened, you stayed on the show. All the stuff she bringing up from back in the day, she stayed on the show.
didn't see me in a fight anywhere, anytime, ever on this show, right? So you have girls on other franchises pulling each other's hair, busting glasses. They say, well, you left the reunion. Well, what reunion have you seen that a housewife didn't get up and walk off the show?
Their point wasn't, you left as if you were better than the show, and you were already on a bad leg.
A walk off a reunion. So I would like to know what it is that I did that someone else did not do. These girls have done way worse than I could ever have done. And then you go to, you pushed the cameraman. Well, so he was in the way.
Nene wasn't, that wasn't the reason either. Because even after that happened, that season, they asked her back they were phasing Nene out. Like you're being phased out. It is what it is.
Okay. Now what else is going on? So Teresa pushed Andy down at the reunion when he tried to stand up. So what else are you talking about? So there's nothing.
And Teresa did push Andy on season 1 reunion of Jersey. Again, they brought everyone back. Portia fought Kenya. Cynthia kicked Portia. Portia had a few fights. Okay. People did things and got brought back. Okay. People did things and got brought back. Period.
That I've ever done that no other housewife haven't done, if not worse. So I understood why I was being given less and less and less, but I wanted to understand from their side. Mm-hmm. Why? What did I do?
Nothing. You were being phased out. You don't own Housewives of Atlanta. You don't own Bravo. You don't have any stake in the company. You built a house and never made Joseph a house key. You built the brand and never built your own brand. Your brand was being a housewife on Bravo.
You can't tell me it's because, you make too much money, when you got these other girls who are making more money. What is it that I was doing? I saw what it was, and I've been watching it for a very long time. And again, all I asked for was fair treatment. That's it.
Bethany Frankel is a very outspoken housewife.
Yes, I spoke to her recently as well.
Oh, what was that about?
Go ahead with your question.
Bethany Frankel has been very outspoken about housewives in a very negative light.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think
Bethany has been very vocal about her issues. She has.
She speaks out and says things, but I also think she teeters a little bit around. Like, I think she knows what to say and what not to say.
Well, what's interesting to me is because I do listen to her podcast. She talks about how much money the girls make. She talks about how, the Housewives show now is a bunch of women fighting. I won't go back. They have this book they asked me to be interviewed for, and I'm like, I'm not going to be a part of a book that talks about women this way. Like, she speaks about a very negative light, but she also gets invited to Watch What Happens Live. Do you think that there's a different treatment between you and Bethany? At the end of the day, you both are outspoken women.
Yeah, there's a very big difference. First of all, you just said that she gets to get invited to Watch What Happens Live.
Okay, I'm gonna wait.
I'm the only housewife that has been on Watch What Happens Live. I'm sorry. I've been on Watch What Happens Live more than any housewife. Certainly when he first launched the show. They used me and used me and used me to sit there over and over and over and over and over and over again to help launch Watch What Happens Live and make it a success, and the success that it is today. Because I personally do not think that Watch What Happens Live would be successful without the Real Housewives franchise, period. I don't think that Andy would have any of his success without the Real Housewives franchises, period. Because
Andy was smart. Let's touch on that. Let's get to it. Okay, now look. Bethany Frankel does say negative things about the show. What she leaves it to is the show. She's never sued them. She's never talked about all the crazy things that's happened. Bethany leaves it to what she don't like about the show. Nene took it personal. Nene got fired and went on a rampage, for one. Now, Nene saying, because Carlos said how, Bethany can still go and watch What Happens Live. Nene saying, well, I was on it the most. I was the housewife on it the most. Again, you sat around there and you built the brand up and nothing for yourself. You helped Andy, as you say, build Watch What Happens Live, how it would not be a success without the housewives. We know that. That's why Andy still has all the housewives on, even the ones who don't be on the show no more, except you. Had you left, they fired. Do y'all remember the show Flipping Out with Jeff and them or whatever? Jeff was also let go, but Jeff still comes back on. You want to know why? Jeff didn't sue nobody. He was upset that he got let go. He didn't sue nobody. Nene, you did the one thing everybody, the only people who was on a successful show and isn't anymore, and as we do not see them on nothing Bravo related, is Nene and Mariah Huq. Just those two. Because Mariah Huq had her legal issues as far as the ownership of Married to Medicine. That got squashed. It got handled. Mariah be somewhere around her business. Nene also went ballistic and said crazy things. So her and Carlos, to me, tried to be slick and make it about race. Bethany is a white woman. Nene is a black woman. So they're going to say, of course, she's a white woman. So she can say what I can't say. I have never heard, and I don't listen to Bethany, but I know for a fact if Bethany say something crazy, it'll make the blogs. I don't recall Bethany ever saying anything derogatory or suable about Bravo, Andy, production, blah, 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 blah. She complained about how boring the show is, how things could be different, whatever you like that. She says things in a way that aren't offensive to make the people at the network look bad. You didn't. That's the difference. And I'm going to keep reiterating. Nene wants to be back on Bravo. Nene isn't fussing to expose Bravo for this heinous, horrible company that no one should want to associate with. No, she wants it to be known, I want to come back. I want to still be there. I want to be able to say what I want to say, but still be in the house of Bravo. which to me means you don't believe that they're racist. You don't believe that there is any discrimination. Because if there is, why do you want to go back? So they want to try to compare Bethany complaining about Bravo to Nene. Bethany did not sue them and call Andy them some cocaine heads.
That is where he's known from. It's the Real Housewives franchise. And I also think that Bethany can speak and say things that I can't speak out and say. I could say some of the same things that Bethany is saying right now, and I would get criticized, or I would not be invited here or invited there, and I certainly wouldn't be able to hang out with anybody in the Hamptons. I think she can say whatever she wants to say, and it's okay. I just am not in that position. I can't say whatever. And she will still work, and I think if we speak and say some of the same things that she said, we can no longer work. Opportunities are being taken away. You're not invited here. We don't like her. We don't want to work anything out with her. I don't get that same opportunity.
Because you called them a cokehead, girl. What? It's I told y'all, it's the girl. Look, where's that? The delusional. We need Bravo. Nene and Carlos King still want to be associated with Bravo. Bravo, Bravo, Bravo. We need Bravo. Nene and Carlos sit around here discussing they old boss after years of being moved on is delusional. They want Bravo. They want Bravo. They want Bravo.
You made some allegations about Kim Zolciak.
First of all, where Kim Zolciak is concerned, I think all of the girls on the show all have felt some kind of way, including production, about Kim Zolciak. Now, that is not a secret. And I have the text messages to prove it. We have sat in meetings to discuss Kim Zolciak being able to do things that we're not able to do, i.e. take a trip together. None of us want to take those trips together because we know those trips are intense. And we know that you're going to be confronted and there's going to be some sort of confrontation. But for whatever reason, Kim never had to take any of those trips. We all had children. We had to leave our children behind. She never had to do that. She could skip the trips and stay home.
Now, this is a point where Nene was right. But I told her earlier, her rightness is so conjumbled with so much bullshit, you missed it. Kim was allowed to not participate when she didn't want to. This is the gotcha. Because we didn't care about Kim. Once Kim got RHOA, she really did not want to do much of nothing with them. That's why Kim got her own show. Now again, Nene is right in saying Kim was allowed to not film on the trips. She would stay home, all these things or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you stay cool with Kim after all that time. Even now, you don't really talk negatively about Kim. She'll say, well, Kim did that, because production allowed it. Not the fact that Kim did not want to hang out with y'all, because she ain't want to. And so production allowed it. That's why Kim got her own show. Truth be told, when Kim left the show, most of us ain't getting our two fucks. Not one, we ain't getting none, actually. Let Kim go over there with her white family and have a white show. We don't have to care about it. No one cared about Kim being gone. When Kim left, I didn't care. And also, let's make something clear. Kim been gone from Housewife since around, season 5? Kim been gone so long, I don't get no fucks. But I can say she's right in saying that Kim was always the one not going on the cash trips. And that last time when Kim was pregnant and it was a trip, she didn't want to go, and then she left and she was done. We didn't care about Kim no more. But Nene likes to bring it up because it makes it seem like, see, Kim got special treatment and I did not.
And we would have to be the ones out on and she still got her check. And we still had to be on that show, on that trip, having confrontations, making sure this show was a success. And Kim would show up when she was ready to show up. And that is just the truth of the matter.
If Andy Cohen is watching right now, what is it that you would like to say to him?
Hopefully nothing. Hopefully nothing, but she gonna say something.
Hi, I heard you had 2 babies now. Congratulations, you have a girl. That's amazing. I always knew you wanted to be a parent, Buttercup. I don't have any hard feelings. At one point, I'm a Sagittarius, so at some point, I may be mad with you, but then I get over it. I'm not the kind of girl that carries a grudge or hold the
Lies. If Nene trying to fix her face and say, I don't hold a grudge. Lies. That fake Nene down there and that fake Nene right there hold grudges. You hear me? She hold grudges. You can't tell me she don't. This whole interview was about grudges. All the stuff you say about people is about your grudge against them. You are a grudge holder. You're just too delusional to admit it. Okay? Girl.
grudge forever. I'm also not an ass kisser. Again, I'm a Sagittarius, so I don't generally kiss ass, and I will not kiss ass. I would just say that I hate that we're in this place. I really wish it was a way for us to find our way back to each other.
The fact that Nene won't say, Andy, I was pissed at you. And I got pissed at you and I said some things that I should not have said, I did not mean, and I apologize for. And if you allow me and you to have a one-on-one privately, for me to first tell you I'm sorry, and hopefully we can go from there, I would love that. Because truth be told, that's the first thing she needs to do. Because Andy is the only executive that she names and said things about, who she was supposedly the closest to. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Carlos say, hey, what do you want to say to Andy? If I was Nene, I would have said, look, Andy, I was pissed. You know what I'm saying? I was pissed. Because I'm not, you can't keep suing them. You should have said, and this is not you kissing ass, and that's something else. She said, I don't kiss ass. Holding yourself accountable for your actions is not ass kissing. It's being an adult. It's owning up to your shit. And had you just said, Andy, I got upset. I was mad. I've said things that I did not mean while being upset. While dealing with Greg being sick, I was not myself. I was going through a whole lot and taking out my anger and my sadness and my grief on people. And I've said things that were not true about you. And I wish I could take those things back. But I want to talk to you one-on-one to acknowledge what I said that, you know what I'm saying, I should not have said. But she refuses to do that. And because you refuse to do that, you will forever be in a bubble where he won't talk to you.
Because, life is short, and you just don't want to carry ill feelings for the rest of your life. You don't have to work together. You don't have to do anything. But it would be nice to either just work through the issues. There's been so many people with greater issues in friendships, and they work through them. As I said to you earlier, Cynthia and I would never be best friends again. But we have talked and we've worked through whatever issues we have. So when we see each other, we can laugh, we can talk, and we can sit at a table together. We can work together. I think it says a lot about a person when they can't just say, let's just move on. We'll work through that moment and let's just move on, because I honestly don't have any ill feelings.
Delusion. Saying the fact that the people I talk cash shit about don't want to sit down and just forget what I said about them, because I have no ill feelings. They ain't did shit to you. That's why. Even her bringing up how, you know what I'm saying, me and Cynthia won't ever be best friends, but we can, like, you know what I'm saying, be around. Look. Not around here, partner. Not around here. Like, no. When you say something about someone that isn't true, that can hurt, as someone pointed out earlier, could have hurt his adoption. He didn't adopt, he had surrogacy. But it could have, mess up his stuff. You can't think that person should just forgive you and say, you know what, let's move on. I know you called me racist, called me a cokehead, you know what I'm saying? Which could have got my kids taken from me if I was really a cokehead right now. I may have done coke in the past. I'm not done coke in the present. You know what I'm saying? I know I said y'all was right. No. In her head, she feel like because she don't care about what she said, who she said it about shouldn't care either. That shows she's cuckoo Cocoa Puffs.
What happened has happened.
Is the end result of this, I know you can speak much on it, we'll move on, but is the end result of this lawsuit, would you like to go back on Atlanta Housewives?
I can't say that I personally would just like to go back on Atlanta Housewives. However, the fans have all asked for me. And the fans are the reason for the ratings. They're the reason for the show being as popular as it is. And if I had to go back, it would be 100% for the fans.
We don't need you. Don't want you. Get out of face. Because you will go back for you, for the check. If you wanted the fans to be happy, somebody would have gave you a show. If Nene is such a fan favorite, why will no one else give her a show? The fans should give her a show. She wants to use fans as an excuse. Hey, Bravo, the fans want me back. Y'all want some more ratings? Bring me back. I'll come back for the fans. No, you'll come back because you have no other options. There are many people who the fans would like back, and they say no, thank you. Because they have other things going on right now. Y'all may not like it, but I'm going to say Nene does not have anything else going on for herself. And I'm a regular working person. I don't have to have shit else going on. I'm not a person who was on a national syndicated show for 11 seasons. When you have had the success that Nene Leakes loves to talk about, there's no way that right now she should have nothing going on. But she has nothing going on. That's why she had time to fly out there and talk to Carlos in her eye Genie nightgown, okay, with her titties out, with a new blonde wig on, up in a ponytail. Because she had nothing else to do. She didn't have to look at her schedule, nothing. Now, maybe she lived a life of leisure. However, she could go back because she ain't got shit else. And I mean that from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head. If Nene had anything else going on, she would not be dry begging Bravo, Andy and them to give her back her job.
Okay. Not the check.
The check is not a bad check. Although I think my check should be bigger. The check is not a bad check.
Do you watch the show now?
I do not watch the show. However,
Lies.
I have watched a lot of the clips that come down social media.
I've always said, and I repeat this, anybody who bases their opinions on clips of things when at least a full episode is available, you're a fool. Because people post clips to make you think something, and it usually is not the truth.
I don't even know how to turn my TV on. I think everybody that knows me, including Andy Cohen, knows this about me. I don't watch TV.
What do you think about the clips you've seen online?
I thought the clips online, well, they weren't, that entertaining. I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of the girls that are on the show currently. And just meeting them in person, they weren't entertaining, or they were not like, I just don't see any stars on the show.
So a show you don't watch. You don't watch the show, but you don't. It's boring. How do you know? How do you know? If Housewives of Atlanta was boring, it would be canceled. I'm just saying.
So we have Kenya, Candy, Sheree, Sonya, Drew, and Marlo. Out of those 6 women, do you see any stars in them?
I do not.
Okay. How do you feel about Marlo getting a peach?
You know, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, Marlo is the one that's bringing the most entertainment on the show.
Lies. Marlo is not entertaining. Marlo is aggravating. It's a difference. And to me, the folks who enjoy Marlo enjoy chaos. I have time for chaos. I don't. There's a thin line between being entertaining and being aggravating. And for me, Marlo is aggravating. So the fans who she's hearing from are the same delusional people who follow her. Nene is listening to delusional people who believe that she should be back on Bravo. She's getting her information from delusional fans who think she is the victim.
We really have a problem. So if Marlo is the biggest entertainer on the show, they have got to do something.
She isn't the biggest entertainer on the show. She isn't. But again, when you don't watch the show, you sound loud and wrong.
Why is that?
No, not that she's not entertaining. It's just shocking that this has been a person that was a friend to the show for many years. And now she is bringing the most entertainment. That says a lot about those girls who've been holding those peaches for years. They need to take away their peaches and let them become the friend then. Because it's
So that's her deliberately going at Candy and basically Kenya. Because they've been on the show the longest. Sheree's a back and forth person or whatever. Okay. But again, Marlo is not entertaining. She's aggravating. The fans can't stand Marlo. Some folk don't mind her. But to me, those are the same delusional people who think Nene will be back on Bravo. The same folks who are calling Marlo entertaining are the same ones saying they're going to bring Nene back. Why? She's going to be back on. No, she's not. You're delusional.
she's being the most entertaining person on the show. That's crazy. Some of those girls have been on the show. That they are paying some of the other people probably way more than they're paying Marlo, and Marlo is the most entertaining. Then they need to give Marlo some of these other people's check, and some of them need to, take a back seat.
Does Marlo deserve to have a peach?
I think so now. Yeah.
On the show you don't watch, you have a lot of opinions.
A lot of people have said that Marlo is the reason why you don't get a friend of a peach. They feel like
That's why you don't do what?
People have said that Marlo is the reason why you don't give a friend of a peach.
A friend of a peach. Okay.
They feel like Marlo was best served as a friend of to the show. Pop in, pop out, and goodbye. A lot of people can't stomach Marlo being full time. They don't think she has the gravitas to hold the candle of what a peach holder brings to the show.
Now that to me proves that Carlos is not only watching the show, honey. He's watching the show. He's studying the show. He's watching all the comments online. Carlos is well vested in everything going on for the Housewives of Atlanta. He know all the stuff going on for everybody.
And they feel like she was better served as a friend of. If you were still on the show, would you have wanted Marlo to be a peach holder posing alongside you in the main titles?
I can understand what people are saying and what they mean, but I have a relationship with Marlo, so therefore I'm happy to have a friend that I know to hold a peach, But I understand what they mean. It's sort of like, now, why y'all gave her a peach? I get what they're saying, but I'm happy seeing Marlo in the role, though. I get it.
No, Nene, liar. When Marlo first got her peach, people weren't. We were shocked when we were told that Marlo was getting a peach. We all also said that was because Cynthia chose not to be on the show as a friend of. Portia chose to leave. They had no other option, and so Marlo finally got a peach. And we were hopeful that it would work out. It was just bullshit. And Marlo did not do good.
Do you think Candy's overrated and overpaid?
I do.
Shut up! That is so stupid.
Why would you say that? For what? Why?
Tell me why.
I just don't think that, you know, me and Candy, just so for the record, so that everybody can know, I just always want to speak very freely and very honest. Candy and I have severed any issues that we had, which I don't think that, I never ever understood why she has so much animosity towards me.
Wait, what?
I just felt like, ma'am, you are reaching.
For the stars? For the stars? Who? Wait, what? Wait, what? There has been a big debate on social media about people kissing Candy's ass, Candy not be entertaining. This is my thing. The hate Candy get don't make sense to me. The hate Candy gets does not make sense to me. Candy has always came on the show as JayBirds. She was not trying to kiss Nene's ass. That was the reason. That is the reason they have never met. I do not think Candy has anything against Nene except how Nene speaks about her and talks about her. That's Candy's only issue with Nene. But Nene likes to act as if she has no idea what it is between her and Candy. I don't know why Candy has this issue with me. Candy don't have an issue with you. In my opinion, Nene, you on some bullshit.
Get away from me with this.
Because why? Okay, why make it seem like it's Candy? I do not get it. And for those of us who have been watching the show since season 1, since Candy came on, Candy kept on saying, I don't know, Nene got an issue with me. Nene was nasty and rude to Candy from the jump. Candy didn't take it. And so they did bump heads, but not for any other reason besides Candy standing up for herself against Nene. Period. And Candy has never had to do much besides be Candy. Period. Like, Candy's life is a reality show. She don't have to have all the antics. She has a group drama. Her mama issue with her boyfriend, not her husband. Okay, the kids sometimes say she ain't there enough, whatever. She working or whatever. Like, she has all these businesses or whatever. Candy has always just been living her life, and the cameras follow her. And some folk call that boring. I call it, that is what reality shows should be. It's regular shit. People think it's supposed to be about reading, and that ain't what it is. It isn't. Nene don't like anybody new who don't kiss her ass because she feel like housewife is the house I built. And Candy just came on and didn't need to be all that extra boo-boo foo-foo fa bullshit. She ain't need none of that at all. And the bad part is, I feel like Nene know that. But she also know some people like to hate on Candy. So let me just say, I don't know why Candy doesn't like me. But those of us who can recall how she treated Candy, and Candy didn't take it, and that's when the first argument happened. I'm gonna walk away if I get blown up on your ass. And she did not allow Nene to punk her, and she has not ever let it happen. Now, I'm not saying that Candy is the queen of housewives of Let's. I'm not saying that either. I enjoy her. I don't mind Candy. So it ain't that, what I'm saying, nobody, excuse me, it ain't that anybody should always kiss Candy ass. I just don't get why people give Candy so much shit, and she ain't did nothing to nobody. Truthfully.
And some of these other girls who are ripping her apart, like she's back friends with Portia. Now, and I love Portia, but I would not be friends with Portia if I was Candy. According to what Portia and Phaedra did to her, then she should probably never be friends with her again.
Now, let me say,
But
I understand Candy and Portia's coolness now. Let me explain. Portia was told something by Phaedra. Portia, if I can recall, did not go and tell other people that rumor that came from Phaedra. Portia went and said it to Candy. That's what caused the friction between Candy and Portia. Portia told Candy what she had heard, and that was that. Okay, we had that debacle. We then have the reunion. Portia then said, because I have a cease and desist on me, I'm gonna let Phaedra talk, because Phaedra told me. Portia then told Candy where it came from. Okay. Once Portia realized Phaedra was full of shit, Phaedra spent the next, I say, 2 seasons kissing Candy's ass. You know what I'm saying? Apologizing. Portia and Candy did not become friends quickly. It took like 3 or 4 seasons for Candy to fully even acknowledge Portia and her was cool or whatever. And even, because that happened in season 9. And now, like, they can be around each other and ain't no issue. But you want to know why? Because Portia held herself accountable for what she did. That's the only reason Candy and Portia cool. And again, I want to reiterate, Portia was not around here spreading the lie. Portia was told something by Phaedra and took it to Candy. Okay? And once it came out that Phaedra was faking Fugazi, Portia then had to eat her words and keep kissing Candy's ass, because what she did was wrong. And Candy eventually forgave Portia, because Portia did not start the rumor. She did not spread the rumor. And once she found out that that Phaedra was full of shit, she stopped talking to Phaedra. So Nene trying to make it seem like I can't believe Candy is cool with Portia. Portia did what she was supposed to do. She acknowledged, she apologized, and she put in work to fix her. Now, her and Candy ain't best buds, but they are able to be around each other. I know that they invite each other to their kids to each other's parties because they have so many mutual friends. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't gonna act like they kept saying that rumor came from Carlos. Now I know they said it wasn't him, but some say it was. But I'm just saying, Nene trying to put 20 on 10.
she's found a way to bridge the gap, and now they're talking. So I get it. But it felt like to me like Candy held the biggest grudge against me, and all we had was petty little arguments and stuff. I think that Candy is not exciting. I just don't think she's I don't think the camera loves her.
But Candy's on the Shy. Candy's on the show called A La Carte on the black whatever. Candy is booked in different genres outside of Housewives of Atlanta. Candy has played other roles and not just Candy. Nene has been Nene on Housewives. Nene was Nene on Glee. Nene was Nene on the other show with Ryan Murphy, and that's it. She's been on 3 shows total. She was Nene on Apprentice. So for someone who has never been anyone except Nene and can't get a job now, to say that Kandi Burruss, who has acted in many different things, the camera loves Kandi. That shows the delusion of Nene Lanithia Leakes. Because to say the camera doesn't love Kandi, Kandi is out here acting in different things. Kandi not around here playing herself. She has to play other characters. Kandi be going out on go-sees and movies and pilots or whatever. Not you. Not you. I'm just saying, girl.
I just don't think the camera I think the camera loves her family, but I don't think they love her. And so I don't.
And that's why Kandi has had many different spin-off shows. Okay? Period. Now, we are still pissed that Kandi and the Gang was not renewed for second season. We love that show. And every show before that was supposed to be a 1-season series, like a special. You know what I'm saying? Period. And Kandi don't have to have her own solo dolo show because Candy's hand is in many bags.
I think the viewers or anybody would ever see Kandi as much as they want to make Kandi like the star and she's been there for 100 years and she is her. I don't think not one person tunes in and believes that.
And where can we tune in to see Nene? I mean, where? I mean, can we tune in and see Nene on any reality show currently besides College Hill, which is the old rerun of that 1 season? I mean, is the show Glee even available on streaming services? Is the show the new normal? Where can we watch that? Where can we watch Nene? I went. Where? We can't even watch Nene on her own YouTube channel. Somebody out here commenting on where we can see Kandi and who want to see Kandi, who's booked on multiple shows. So much so this season the cast is saying she ain't around much because she's booked and busy. But guess who's free? Nene, Marlo, Sheree.
I believe everybody tune in and be like, okay, there's Kandi. Okay, now what's going on? Where's Kenya? Okay, where's next? I don't think that anybody tunes in and be like, oh my God, she's just bringing it and she's so everything. I think people look at it and they be like,
we can't look at you. To look at Nene, we gotta wait for her to put up a story with a filter on. We can't see her nowhere. And again, now y'all know she first said, I don't know why Kandi is upset with me. I don't know why she has an issue with me. But look at what she's saying about Kandi. Delusional.
okay, next. I don't think anybody is like that with it. I just don't. And I have to go a step further and say, I believe that production and the network wanted it to be that way. I think that they wanted girls on these shows who did not have the it factor. I said years ago that most of these girls have the I, but they do not have the T.
And you gone and they there. So obviously the it don't keep you there. Because guess where you at? Nowhere. You are literally on the outside of the club.
So y'all want to sit there and waste your time writing negative stuff about us? Well, are you making money?
Are you, Nene? Did Carlos pay you for this interview? Did? Because it sounds like you think that Candy is real.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now, come on now.
Because you keep talking about it. You keep bringing Candy up. I tell y'all, people I don't rock with, I don't speak on them. I let them be. Okay? But when you consistently talk about people, it's because of how amazing they are. I'm just saying. Y'all, take a little second and like the video. Because y'all know liking is the thing to do, honey. And we still have, honey, look, we got like 30 more minutes of this goddamn interview to keep cackling through, okay?
Atlanta Housewives at one point in time was the #1 show on the network consecutively for more than 5 years, arguably. It no longer is.
Because Carlos love talking shit about who is and who was and what used to be great and how housewives used to be and this and that and that and this and blah, 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 blah. Let's look at some ratings. The last 3 episodes of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. Episodes 13, 14, and 15. Now, we know the show was back in September, but these were the last 3 episodes of the season, okay? Episode 13 had 332,000 views. Episode 14 had 296,000 views. The season finale had 308,000 views. So, Carlos, you should really be worried about your own show because these ratings are lower than low. And I like Love and Marriage. My point is, if you would stop concerning yourself and being on interviews with all these other folks, maybe you could fix your show and get it up to get millions of views. Maybe. Just maybe. Okay. Now let's compare the last 2 episodes of Love and Marriage Detroit to Housewives of Atlanta. Episode 4 had 207,000 views. Episode 5 had 174,000 views. Now, episode 6 ratings ain't out yet. Housewives of Atlanta episode 10 had 894,000 views. Episode 11 had 860,000 views. This past week's episode, the views ain't out yet. So, Carlos, maybe keep your dick in your own yard and stop sticking through glory holes and to other folks' stuff. Worry about what pays you. Thank you, Keisha, for the super chats. The fact that she acts like Candy has not been around since the 90s, the early 90s. It's crazy. You can't have that type of longevity without star quality. And let's not forget, for a long time, Candy was solo, wasn't even with Escape. Came back, with a group, and now they Ryan's touring. Candy has been Candy Burris, period. When Candy came on Housewives, we knew who she was because we all loved her. So Nene is full of shit, if you ask me. And you round here talking cash shit when your own show's ratings are shitty. And I see for, well, people don't really have OWN. OWN only has like 5,000 subscribers. Well, you would think that Carlos King will be right here promoting people to subscribe to OWN to get his show more views, because it is looking a little late. The views ain't on time. The views is little itty bitty, the itty bitty babies. Now, if that's good, and let's not forget, the only shows on OWN really is Carlos King shows. There is no competition. How you losing to yourself? And again, Housewives may not be getting 1 million views, but they're bubbling like right under that. And people be watching every week. Okay? So until your show views are as high as Bravo's, mind your business. Mind your business. We know Carlos King he's now a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? He doing all the interviews. He shares podcasts with other men who are on YouTube. If you think about it, you ain't seen Carlos had not near female YouTuber who he know and I'm not even saying me, because I do not want to put myself in the category of YouTubers who have been around for 10, 11, 12. Like, how he had Rocks up. Rocks, Bondi, Ashley, people who been doing it for years. But he won't do that. Carlos will have all this women's empowerment speech about other women he puts on his shows, but he had not nan female YouTuber up on his platform to discuss the shows, who review his shows every week. Now, I don't review shit every week. I'd be slacking. So I don't even put myself in those categories at all. However, don't try to be on some bullshit on dogging the ratings with somebody who ain't even on the show.
The number one show on Bravo is Below Deck. The number one Housewives show
Beverly Hills, isn't it?
The number one show of Housewives is The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
First of all, if y'all do not know, Below Deck is a great show. I love Below Deck. I love all the Below Decks. I love Below Deck Adventure. I love Below Deck Australia. I love Below Deck Sailing. I only don't like Below Deck Captain Sandy. She gets on my goddamn nerves. But all the other Below Decks besides Woman Sandy, I love them. Okay. So Below Deck is a great show. I love Project Runway on Bravo. I love Top Chef on Bravo. I watch other things on Bravo outside of Housewives shows. Below Deck having high ratings makes sense because it's something different. If you do not watch Below Deck, it's different. It's different versions of it. It's the sailing yacht. It's the regular yacht. They be out to do an adventure shit or whatever. And it is a show about the crew, the captain, the stews who do the cleaning, the chefs, the folks on the deck who gets, you know what I'm saying? It's that stuff. And we see the guests, who are sometimes assholes, sometimes not, or whatever. They rent a yacht, and we see what happens on their charter. Below Deck is a very entertaining show, period. And each show has a different captain, a different cast. It's different guests every 2 or 3 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Shit be going crazy. The last season, the damn chief stew who's fucking the engineer also had fucked the goddamn hit the bosun. It was crazy. Okay, it was a lot. Below Deck should be a top rated show. It should be. It's that good. And Beverly Hills is a top because of the drama with Erica, also because Giselle, we want her to be great. Is it Giselle? You're not Giselle. Lord Jesus. Garcelle. We love Garcelle. That show, we like too. Atlanta's like number 3. Okay. Whatever. I mean, them not be making it seem like, Atlanta not being number 1 is crazy.
Atlanta Housewives, I think, has fallen to the number 3 slot.
And I think they wanted it that way.
You do? Why?
I just do. I just think that they did not want these girls to be the number 1 show. I just do. That's just a personal thing.
Why is she delusional?
Feel like they just did not want these girls to continue to be number 1. That's just my opinion.
I don't think they were number 1 when Nene was on there. I don't. You can't tell me they was.
Why has Atlanta Housewives slid from the number 1 spot? And people are saying that the show has now become unwatchable.
This is how I see Carlos. This face right here is how I see Carlos. I want to make something clear. The people who he's saying, says the show is unwatchable are Nene fans. The show would not be getting, almost 900,000 views every week if the show was unbearable to watch. People are watching. People may not watch on Sunday. People are watching. They're also not strictly watching the live broadcast. They're also watching streaming, which is so if 894,000 watch on the TV, 1 million folks could watch on streaming. Carlos and Nene are trying to make it seem like Atlanta is a struggling show that is doing horrible now. It should be canceled because Nene ain't there. And that's just bullshit. Now let me go empty my ice tray. Y'all keep watching.
You're asking Nene Leakes why?
Do you like what? Okay, listen. Do you want my opinion?
Sure.
Okay. And I'll get red for this, and that's fine. Atlanta
I don't know why you would get red for having an opinion.
Oh, God forbid I have an opinion, honey. It goes on Shade Room and hey, Shade Room, hey, Neighborhood Talk. But it's fine. I'm going to be very honest with you.
Okay.
And this is me speaking as a producer on the show. I started out day 1 as an associate producer, bottom level. So I've seen things from a bird's eye view, like this is how it works. That show needs an anchor. That show needs somebody, which I'm saying to you is always you. That show needs somebody that can rally the troops. My all-time favorite trip of Atlanta Housewives history will always be Savannah. I love Savannah. You have fun. There was a shade, and it was really sisterhood. And I'm not saying this because you're in my face. I said this behind your back. You were able to orchestrate the conversations, and I saw them look to you like, what are we doing? When you said, okay, let's pick room, let's go upstairs, they all looked at you like, Nene is the anchor, and that's not shade. And that's why the problem to me now is there's no anchor.
You are by far the shadiest showrunner I've ever sat with. By far. And one of the great things about you, as I said earlier, is that you know all the girls. You knew what made us tick. You knew I'm going to call Nene in, and this is going to piss her off today. Or you knew to call Nene in, and Nene could call someone. You knew those things because you had a personal relationship with each and every one of us. And each and every one of us were able to call you when we needed something. And that's a great thing about you. So when the other showrunners come in, they don't know us. You know what I mean? They don't know our personalities.
Or try to get to know y'all.
Try to get to know.
Okay, I'm back. Now, I heard from my kitchen, Carlos saying the Savannah trip was his favorite trip. Now, do y'all, what season was the Savannah trip? Let me know. I can't remember. But I feel like saying they look up to you. You know, they would listen to you. You know, No, they were all getting along. That's it. That's all. And I feel like, do shows need anchors? Sure. We'll say they do. However, they also could all just get along. And that's it. So it's like, stop trying to make fetch happen.
You knew our children, you knew our husbands, and all those things made for a great show with you being able to know all of our relationships. And I will tell you what me and my glam talked about before coming out here. Like Destiny's Child. It could never be Destiny's Child without Beyonce.
And I said, oh, the delusion. Now, point one, point two. Point one, you can't compare Carlos knowing the families of all y'all, because Carlos was around there since season 1. And new producers may not want to get so invested in the cast. Or it may take them time to get there with the cast. That's part one. Now, aired in 2013. So my thing is this. If the Savannah trip happened 10 years ago, can you imagine someone saying, you know what? The best car I had was a Sebring, a Dodge Neon. They don't make them cars no more. Like, why are you bringing up old shit? Bringing up a trip from 10 years ago and saying that was my favorite trip. Well, then you need to grow up and move on, okay? It was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And now him and the Destiny's Child, her and the Destiny's Child comment, that made me mad. Because saying there's no Destiny's Child without Beyonce, you not Beyonce for one. 2, even Beyonce would never say that. Beyonce would check anybody who would say that. Now, some folk love to clown Kelly and Michelle as if it don't matter. Some folk don't even bring up Latavia and Latoya, who was around in the beginning. To me, we know Destiny's Child was the 4 members at first. However, the people who went on and touring and had multiple albums, that was Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle. Beyonce is on tour right now. Beyonce can perform songs that Destiny's Child did. It won't be the same without Kelly and Michelle. It won't be the same. Destiny's Child is literally a group. Beyonce is Beyonce. However, Kelly is Kelly Rowland, who had her own solo success. Michelle had her own solo success. Hell, yeah, Latoya Luckett had her own solo success. The best way to acknowledge the greatness of a group is to be like they were great together, and when they broke up or when one person left or was not there anymore, they still succeeded. However, we're gonna discuss Destiny's Child as we're gonna leave it to just Kelly, Michelle, and Beyonce. And anybody who tried to shade Kelly and shade Michelle, Beyonce don't let that rock. She don't at all. You should never talk shit about your group mates. You should not at all. Nene liked being on bullshit. Nene liked making it seem like she the Beyonce. When, truthfully, Nene is the Latavia. She's the person who we know she was in the group. At one point, they was popular. But she's Latavia because when she left the group, she ain't do shit. And I'm not saying Latavia ain't do other than life, But in the realm of how Beyonce, Kelly, Michelle, and Toya did things, Latavia didn't do shit. Other housewives that left Atlanta have found success in different ways. Portia found Simon, but Portia done other things too. You know what I'm saying? Them sheets, that hair to go take hair, whatever. Eva is acting, a lot. Cynthia acting a lot. I think even she was who else? My point is, Nene is Latavia. Was on a popular show at one point, was popular, but once she was no longer in the group, she ain't do shit. Nene ain't did shit. So saying there's no Destiny's Child without Beyonce, as if she's the Beyonce, you ain't did shit solo dolo at all. Even the one other show you was on, College Hill, was still an ensemble cast. You not the Beyonce. You are. There's no comparison. Because I don't know what other group broke up and one person who thought they were the shit and then they ain't do shit. I mean, okay, you the Backstreet Boys. Okay, you're the Backstreet Boys, and you was was the Nick. Who was the one? Let me go back. Let me see which one I'm talking about. Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys. Backstreet's back. All right. Okay. You are Brian Latrell. People felt like Brian was gonna be a solo, handsome, blah 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 blah. He didn't do shit. Nope, nothing. The reason I won't give her Natasha, because I keep seeing y'all say Natasha. She right. She the Farrah. The reason I won't say Farrah, because Farrah ain't seen shit. Farrah was in the group Farrah came in the group at a time where she wasn't even really in the group at all. And even with Latasha put out an album. She did some acting. She did little shit. Tasha has talent and tried to do stuff but failed. Nene ain't tried to do nothing.
And I feel like I don't want to give myself that, but the truth is, I started the show. Again, I shot the pilot. I did season 1. I am an original housewife. I knew what the show needed. I gave the show everything it needed. And I think it's very difficult to grab that person and take them off of the show and really think that you're going to be able to put somebody else in that position. It just can never work.
And the killer is they never tried to replace Nene. They just kept the train moving. That's all.
It just could never work. And I don't think it will ever work. Now, what I do feel like they might possibly could do, I'm not sure if it's going to work, is to tell everybody it's been real.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Agreed.
And start a whole new cast.
Yes, I agree with that.
Other than that, to keep trying and bringing these people back in and out, in and out, in and out, it's just not going to work.
Girl, not her shade and Sheree. Because Sheree is the only person that they brought in and out, in and out. We don't, that, there, I don't think that, the issue on Housewives is production. Production is trying to recreate shit from 10 years ago. They're not allowing the ladies to really live an authentic life. Like the fact that they're not following Candy, who's doing shit in life. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we're not seeing the trips that Brooklyn taking with her mama. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn and Kenya. Like, follow Ralph to Tampa. What is Ralph doing? Okay. Follow Drew following Ralph to Tampa. Do that. So I blame production not the ladies. The ladies don't cut the show together. The fact that Candy speak on it, which talks about other stuff that be left on the cutting room floor, shows you it's production. It is not the ladies. And to me, Sheree and Marlo are trying to make TV. Sheree and Marlo are trying to cause conflict and bullshit. The issue with the show has nothing to do with Candy, Kenya, hell, not even Celia and Drew, nothing like that. It's production. Production is also, in my opinion, making Marlo and Sheree think they have to do that shit. It's production. The people who are producing, the reason why Kenya and Candy, like, I ain't doing that shit. They're not letting production use them for the bullshit because they vets. And Candy don't need a job. You know what I'm saying? Marlo and Sheree need a check. They want to be on the show. So they are allowing production to push them to make this shit that we feel like, what? That's why you see Kenya and Candy like, man, I'm not fussing with you. That's why Kenya won't fuss with Courtney. For what? Because production has even Courtney thinking she has to be extra. Even Monietta, they're cutting Monietta down to make her boring. It's some bullshit.
We already know what they did. You gonna bring them back? Yeah, she was fun. Why'd you take her off in the first place? Okay, you bring this way. Why did you take her off? Why is she back? You know, it's just like, what are you guys doing? And the friends of the show is who I'm confused by.
How can somebody who don't watch the show know so much? How? How can you have such a feeling about the cast and the friends? How? Because you're watching the show. You may not be watching at your. If you don't know how to cut your TV on, somebody else does, and you watched it anyway.
I'm very confused by the friends. I am looking at the show like, who are the friends? And why are they here? That's what I keep looking at. Like, why did the friend get here? Why is she the friend? Mm-hmm. And why is she on the show? I'm confused.
Is it sad to see the house you built crash and burn?
Oh, it is.
She burned it. And the house, Atlanta Housewives has not crashed and burned. Nene's time has. Nene's reputation has. The Housewives, they still fine.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. I've said it so many times. This is a shame. And it's a shame that they don't get what it needs. That's the real shame, is they don't really understand what the show really needs. It's really simple to us. I mean, we're looking at the show like, this is really simple. Where is the fabulousness of the show? Where is the girl? I feel like you do too. I'm not if everybody's there just to get a check, but there's a lot of girls who are not working, who are not giving they all. Like Kenya, for instance. We know that Kenya can give.
Oh, baby.
We know that she can read.
Yes.
We know that she can come in and do a whole scene, but we're not seeing that. And I think that is because she's not interested, because there's not interesting talent there for her to be interested in. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if she had somebody there.
She's bored.
Right, she's bored.
Not? Is he not? This why Carlos shows is failing. This why Nene is unemployed. Because y'all two were discussing y'all old employer who fired both y'all.
She had somebody in there to read, and she can get read, and then she would be, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, girl, you about to get read, because you ain't finna take me there, because I'm finna come for you. And so, the same thing with Candy. You need somebody to grab her up and take her there, because otherwise, she's just chilling. You know, so she's just like, okay, I'm just getting this check. But you bring some of these girls in here who's going to really read you, girl, and not really care about you being here for 10 years, then you're going to do your job.
Get away from me with this.
They just missed it. And they need other girls to come on the show. Now, I do hear that Marlo is reading Candy a lot. I will have to go do my research, but I hear that she is reading Candy for the gods.
She isn't. Like, Marlo ain't reading Candy. Marlo was making up shit about Candy. She not reading Candy.
The God's Lord.
Honey, yeah, so I call the gods, honey. Say, Candy's getting red, honey. Yes, Candy. Come through, Candy, now. Now, I know Candy can scream back, honey, so come on. So she's doing her job. So it seems like Marlo is doing her job.
Yes.
And who else is working on the show now?
Sheree's there.
And what is she doing?
She started off dating Martell.
Oh, right, and she's no longer with him. I gotta cross my leg, I'm sorry. And she's no longer with him.
And I felt like there were moments of her becoming an anchor.
Oh, they were trying to get her to become an anchor. I could see that. Maybe that's because she's an original, but I don't think she has it in her to rally the girls and give them that voice and be that person. I just don't see it.
Let's talk about
Because you're not there. Now, I agree. Sheree ain't shit. She ain't an anchor. Sheree fake. Sheree's fake. Sheree, is around here is on some BS. So, no. However, girl.
about your friendship, your celebrity friendships. You and Wendy Williams had a great friendship at one point in time.
Yes.
She is now going through something very troubling.
Yes.
And it doesn't look good for her, unfortunately, and we're all praying for Wendy. But going back to y'all great friends.
I know Wendy like, what? Me? What?
So now why am I in it? And you could have did it.
See how I get thrown in
because you never.
Now, why bring up Wendy? Wendy minding her own business. Again, can you imagine you being off TV for so long and you have an interview and your whole interview is about other people?
Friendship. At one point in time, it ended. I'm going to be very honest with you. When Wendy's talk show was on, bitch,
I know what you're going to say.
It was a.
And let's also make people aware. Wendy been off TV for what, 2 years now? Wendy Williams has been off television for like 2 years because her show was already canceled. Sherry's show been on. It's like not coming now. Wendy, okay.
Appointment television. I love Wendy and I still love Wendy, but you're my girl, and people know we ride for each other.
Yes.
I did not like when she referred to you as the girl over there. I just didn't like it because I felt like, and this is no shade to Wendy, I felt like at some point in everyone's life, we're that girl or boy over there.
Now, when did Wendy refer to Nene as that girl over there? Have you not talked, because you just said that Nene your girl. Have you not talked to Nene since then? You bringing up something that Wendy said about Nene probably 2, 3, 4 years ago. Why? Is Nene that boring?
We all are that at one point. Wendy was that doing radio. And then through the grace of God and his blessing, you have a daytime syndicated talk show, which is huge. You're not somebody that was, you're the biggest reality star in the world. So to refer to you as the girl over there like she was better than.
Nene is not that show you how long ago it happened. Nene has not been the biggest star in reality in at least 5 years. So not only is Nene delusional, now so is Carlos.
I didn't like that. And you two were still friends. When she would say that about you, would you call her and be like, "Nah, bitch, what's really going on?"
I would be very confused. There's many times when I've called Wendy, but also you have to know that I'm one of her friends that were kind of on the inside. So
Now we all look. We all know. Wendy said on many occasions, she don't really have friends like that. Like she know people she hang out with here and there, but even she said, "I don't really have friends because I have to talk about folks on my show." So miss me with the bullshit.
saw a lot of things, and I would take it with a grain of salt, where other people would take it personal, right? So Wendy saying that, I knew then that, something's going on with Wendy at this moment, because that's, she wouldn't say that in the other case. So my friendship with Wendy, I would have to say this, was off and on a lot. I would have to say that I really liked her a lot. And when she was fun, she was really fun.
See, and friendships aren't off and on. Friends, you're either friends or I don't have that with my friends. Now, I'm not saying that I talk to my friends all the time. But if I don't talk to my friends, it ain't we friends off and on. I just ain't talking to you in a minute. But ain't no issue like we ain't be. You know what I'm saying? No. Ma'am, bye.
I enjoyed going to New York, being with Wendy, going out and having drinks with her, going to her beautiful place that she has. We would go out to dinner and drinks. I saw her switch on me like right in the same day, change, and I don't know what happened, but change and be something else or do something else. But honestly, I really liked her. And every time it would be like we're having a great time. And then suddenly I would turn on the TV and she would be saying something about me and I'd be like,
I thought she didn't watch TV. I thought she did not know how to turn on the TV. Didn't she say she ain't watch TV and she ain't know how to cut one on? But she just said I would cut my TV on and be watching Wendy. And she, oh, so you do watch TV. And you do know how to cut it on. And Wendy Williams, who was a talk show host who talked about what's going on in the news or whatever, you would be a topic of conversation. But the fact that we just caught her in a lie, I mean, it shows us how much of a liar Nene is.
We were just having a damn good ass time. Like, how do we get here now? Like, why is she saying that about me? I would try to think to myself that it was because she was doing TV and she was just making a great show. But I would always even say to her that, Wendy, you have to have at least like 2 friends that you're going to be friends with, and you're not going to be going in on them like 2. Like, you can talk about everybody, but these 2 friends right here, like, I'm going to say them. But it would never be me.
Well, it just wasn't you. You weren't her friend.
Honestly felt like Wendy was in a place where she didn't care about any of her friends anymore. And she would just say whatever she had to say. I hated that because I really liked her as a person. No matter what was going on her show, no matter what was going on in her personal life, I just liked her as a person.
When was the last time you spoke to her?
It's been a while. I would have to say the last call, she made it to me. And she was trying to resolve whatever, like, hey, how are you? I'm sorry. Like trying to apologize.
Was she off the talk show at that point?
I want to say, I think so.
Okay.
And not off the talk show. They had not said her show was gone.
Okay.
It was a moment when people were like hosting or something.
Substituting her seat, yeah.
And we just, at that moment, I didn't even want to hear it. So.
Is it true that you had a talk show with Tom Arnold? A deal for you and Tom Arnold to have a talk show, kind of like, Kelly and Ryan, that was going.
This is how Nene Leakes and Tom Arnold was going to have a talk show like Kelly and Ryan. Okay.
Going to be produced by the same production company who produced the Wendy Williams show, and that when you two got into it and you made a statement that you're mad that I'm coming for you, that she gave the production company an ultimatum, and ultimately they decided to not pursue the talk show with you and Tom Arnold.
I had a deal with Detmar Mercury, and which is the same company that produces the Wendy Williams show. And I'm not sure if they had locked in my co-host at the time, but we did have talks with Tom Arnold and others. I don't know if he had a deal with them as of yet, but I...
Yeah, yeah, Roseanne, Tom Arnold. And I like him as an actor, but seeing Tom Arnold and Nene on a talk show, that don't make no sense.
Had a deal in the works with them, and she and I got into our thing. I think I had a Birkin bag, and Kim Kardashian had one, and we had put graffiti on it. And she said that like she can't afford to do that, but Kim them could afford to do it. And I was like, listen, Wendell, and when I said that, we kind of went back and forth, and both of us.
Well, calling her Wendell is like calling her, a man. So, and again, this happened years ago. At that time, Wendy's talk show was huge. You had nothing except Bravo Housewives, and that wasn't even that much. Why would you start an argument with Wendy, call her Wendell, which we know folks would call her trying to insinuate that Wendy Williams is a man? If you do that, of course, the production company who has been producing her show for years would say, you know what, we gonna go with Wendy. You did that, not Wendy. That was you.
Us was women empowerment thing, and just went super left. All I know is we went back and forth, and they pulled my deal.
How did you find out they pulled the deal?
Through my attorney. The deal wasn't going any further, and I was like, wow. And
so do y'all think Nene would not stop somebody from working with people who she didn't want to work with? I feel like if Wendy said, look, either her or me, She called me window. I don't like it. I don't want it to happen. And they said, okay, because Nene, I ain't saying it didn't happen. I'm saying Nene, don't make it seem like you was innocently not say nothing, and then when you say, you know what, no. Because the fact that you had got a meeting and they were talking about male co-hosts, it was going places until you was fussing back and forth with Wendy.
I said something in the press and everything, whatever they said, I said, because we can Google it. Whatever it is that I was supposedly said, I didn't say it. But at the end of the day, Detmar Mercury pulled my deal, and I no longer had a deal to do a talk show. And was the last deal. Well, I've had a couple people to come to me about doing a talk show, but I've never been able to do a talk show since.
Now, we want to make sure y'all understand this. That happened years ago. That happened before Nene. That happened before all the craziness was happening with Wendy. With Wendy. So that probably was maybe 6-7 years ago. So again, making it seem like I've never been able to do anything. Okay, so now it's Wendy's fault. Like she ain't never backed down for a bag. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, to say, since then I've never been able to do anything. Wendy's been off the air for years and you still ain't did nothing.
Why is that, you think?
I don't know. Like I was put on the list of can't do a talk show.
Do you think you're blackballed?
I was.
No, I agree. I think for a time Nene was blackballed because she was suing NBC Universal and Bravo and Truly Original and Andy Cohen. She blackballed herself. You were suing a network. While you're suing a network after deliberately saying things about them in the public, other networks probably will not want to work with you. And that is a form of blackballing. But you did not do the smart thing by securing another job, another connection before going after a network.
I was, very much so. I have been able to work, a little now, but for a long time, yes. And definitely in certain areas, like podcasting, no. Talk show, no. That's always been a no for me. Like, no matter, I've wanted to do a podcast or wanted to do a talk show, it's always been a no.
Nene wants other people to pay her to do things. Nene does not want to do things on her own accord. She does not want to help herself. She wants someone to do the podcast for her. She wants someone to hire her. Nene could have easily been doing a podcast. Carlos interviews for people on YouTube. It's a podcast. It's a podcast. She could have easily been on her YouTube channel all this time podcasting. But she wants someone to pay her to do it because she's Nene Leakes, not knowing your name was shit in the industry because of things you did. You did not make any connections with anyone in production. Carlos can't produce a podcast for you.
It's always been a no. And I've had many people to come to me with offers, and then they just die.
So you would get presented offers for talk show and podcast, and you engage with them, and all of a sudden it goes away.
And all of a sudden it goes away.
Like a phone call was made or something.
Yes. We could be in a full-on negotiation, and suddenly it just goes dead. That has happened many times.
Does that make you sad, though?
It makes me very sad because the one thing I always say is I'm a black girl with blonde hair. Now, I can't be you and you can't be me, right? So what I bring to the table, you're not actually bringing to the table, right? And I also think there's enough money out here.
Put your titty up, Nene. Put it up. Now she's up here complaining about this and that and that and this, but she ain't did none of the work. I told y'all before, when Nene first left Housewives, and when she first left Housewives, a couple times she did do a couple YouTube videos on her YouTube channel. And I said, I wish I had the eyeballs on me like Nene has on her, I would take that shit and run. Because after a good 6 months doing shit on your YouTube, when other folks see you doing things, you can get picked up and get paid. It happens all the time. Nene had eyes on her and fumbled the bag many times. She already had thousands upon thousands upon thousands of fans and did not want to do the work. She wants someone to pay her. Nene wants to be an employee. She wants to be employed by a network or somebody else. Now, while I don't own YouTube, I'm in charge of my content. And all I'm doing is putting out content so that when the right eyes see me and see me, I can run with it. You hear me? I don't mind doing the work. Eat one time, okay? But Nene full of shit.
Here for everybody and for all of us to eat. And who even says that my podcast or my talk show will even be successful? Like, give me the opportunity, let me have the chance to be able to do it. So I was in many talks to do many things, and they would just die. And that's not by chance. That's not by chance.
What is it that you would like to do now? Like, what is on Nene's vision board?
Nothing.
That if someone's listening who's able to grant you the opportunity of your dreams, what is it that you would want right now in this place in your life?
Now, the fact that Carlos can't do... Carlos has an end with BET, WeTV, OWN. He's doing podcasting. If y'all are such good friends, good Judies or whatever, the fact that he don't already know what she wants to do, the fact that he is not trying to help her do this and do that, means she don't want to do it.
I love talk. So obviously talk is probably...
Look, I be pushing. I be in my own little corner, my own little chair. You know what I'm saying? Look. I'm gonna keep going, y'all. I'm gonna keep going. But yeah, let's keep listening.
In the forefront, I love to talk and I love to act. So podcasting, talk shows, TV series, all those things. I love everything entertainment, though. Honestly, probably one's no greater than the other. I love any and everything entertainment.
Do you think you should be bigger than Kim Kardashian?
Absolutely.
Y'all, I know when we started this live, I said we're not gonna be 3 hours. We're gonna be 3 hours because there's still about 20 minutes left of the interview or whatever. So I'm sorry y'all so long. I hope y'all having a good time. I hope y'all was enjoying this or whatever. I did not mean for it to be so long. I'm so sorry. Okay, but her and this Kim K shit, let's get into it. Because I know Kim was like, what the fuck I got to do with Nene? They not even in the same. Hey Siri, how old is Kim Kardashian?
Kim Kardashian is 42 years old.
How old is Nene Leakes?
Nene Leakes is 55 years old.
Now, what is going on? The 13-year age difference. Okay, what is going on? Why are you comparing yourself to Kim K? And y'all know I don't even like Kim K.
If not bigger, right there with her.
How?
I feel like they pushed Kim and they didn't push me.
Who is them? Yes, my Siri is you can adjust your Siri voice. I adjusted my Siri voice to sound different. Y'all know Kim. Y'all know I don't care for the Kardashians. None of them. Kim K started out organizing Brandy's closet. She then fucked Brandy brother, released a sex tape, and got fame off that. But then once she got fame from that, her and that conniving ass mama ran with that shit, and they had to work to get to where they are. They can't sing, they can't dance, they can't act. However, they were entertaining on on the TV show. They got brand deals, had a clothing store. They created their own brand. Something Nene should have done. Nene was on Bravo Housewives for fucking 10, 11 seasons. Candy. Nene thinking she should be bigger than or as big as Kim K when Nene don't have not nan piece of nothing to advertise. She had that store that we never really saw nothing from. I don't like the Kardashians. I don't. However, they mama Chris jumped on every single opportunity. Excuse me. Every single opportunity and force them to show every part of their life. The Kardashian show in the beginning showed too much of them. It was so much. They did not shy away from shit. They didn't. Right. I'm pissed off. I'm having to big up the fucking Kardashians. Kendall is a model. Kylie had them cosmetics. They had that Dash store. Kim and them they've had a lot of businesses, and they showed that on the show. Their show was really about their reality. Housewives really wasn't. It was really about these 5 or 6 women going out and eating and shopping. Because none of them really had businesses when it first started. Candy is the only housewife on Atlanta, to my memory bank right now, that once she was opening businesses, she made sure to show that on the show. She did. So I feel like you should have been as big. But what have you done? What have you created? Kim made fucking Skims. OJ daughter. Chloe had that Good American stuff, whatever. Each of them had created something to sell while on the show, which made the show more popular. That's dumb to not understand what there was fucking black men showing the breakups and the makeups. Chloe got with Lamar down there died from cocaine or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Scott was a mess with Courtney. Kim had Reggie Bush, Chris Humphries, Kanye. Kim had 18 dudes on her show as a man. We've seen what 3 of Kim's weddings. Right. Chloe made new faces. Hell, Chloe and Kylie. You know, right. Robert's a loser who sells socks, who knocked up Black China. They have brands. I'm like, when she said I should be as big, I said had she said I should be as big as Courtney, say Courtney. Because we don't see Courtney much, but not Kim K. Girl.
Kim came on after me, and they opened up every door and every opportunity for her.
Her mama did.
Even putting us together at times and making her, much more bigger than me. She had North, obviously. I was at North baby shower.
But what? So, bitch, not you went to North baby shower. You should have been more popular than Kim at her baby shower. Y'all have a 13-year age gap. When Kim was having North, was you birthing babies? Was you? But again, this kind of stuff from Nene is really saying that she should have been bigger than Kim K. If anyone can tell me a Nene brand, let me know.
With her and Kanye, but they pushed Kim to the front. And
who was they?
Push me to the back.
And who pushed Kim one way and pushed Nene the other? What team that was working with Kim K was also working with Nene? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. How? How? That's like Denzel Washington saying I should be as popular as Barack Obama. But you an actor. He was a like it was two different genres. That's politics when they both pop. Those are two popular people. I'm saying, like, y'all not even in the same area of y'all both have a show. Yes. Y'all are in two different age brackets. Y'all do two different things. I have always said the Kardashians are not talented people. However, their business minds and how they were able to create and generate businesses is what made them as rich as they are. And the fans, once they saw they had fans who would support them, they kept creating businesses to have folks buy shit from them. Like Candy, who has tags, who has bedroom candy. People who like Candy buy her shit. When Candy had the London tour, people went on the road and went to her shows. People, right? The club you had in Atlanta closed down. The clothing store you had closed down. What else do you have? Right. We was tired of the card, and they kept going because their fans kept supporting them. Girl, the fuck that.
And I don't think that was by chance. I think that was the way they wanted it to be. We were together because I was Nene and I came out before her, and it just kind of looked good for us to be together. That's how.
When? Okay, let me Google it. Nene leaks and Kim. I just need to see pictures of them. Not original. Girl, let me share it. Share my screen because I just want y'all to see how that was Kim's original face and Nene's original face. Okay, that was their first faces. Neither of them have that face anymore. And the fact that all the pictures of them together look like they are from the same night. Oh, wait, this the one looks a little bit different. But still, same. So for a time, somebody had these two together at least twice. Now, this is the gotcha. Nene, this had to have been when Nene left Housewives and went to LA during what's it called? During pilot season. Because it's the blonde hair. Nene team probably had her around there with because when Nene was on the New Normal, when Nene was on Glee, that's the face and the hair she had. That because Kim live in LA. Kim ain't hanging out in Atlanta. All the black dick that Kim get comes to her. You hear me? That is when Nene moved to Atlanta that one time. Okay, that one time. And that's probably when she was hanging out with Kim K. Because there ain't near a photo of them two together except when she had a damn blind wig. Ma'am.
I feel.
Ma'am. Say, well, someone wanted us to be together. Yeah, you're a team. her team wanted people to see that Nene was in LA hanging out. Because Kim team would have no reason to want to have Kim hanging out with Nene. And that's no shade at all. None at all. Right. 2 different networks, Bravo and E. Girl, let's keep going.
Chris had a talk show. I co-host with Chris on the talk show. I just think that
Chris Jenner, Chris whatever, is it Chris Jenner? They mama had a talk show for like what? Not even the whole season. And again, that is when Nene was in LA trying to make it in LA. It did not work, and she ended up coming back to Atlanta.
made her more successful. And she was able to get opportunities and open walk-through doors that they just did not want me to walk through. She did Shoe Dazzle. I did Shoe Dazzle around the same time. And
everyone did Shoe Dazzle. Everyone did Shoe Dazzle.
And they just pushed her stuff forward, and they were always giving opportunities. And one other thing is that whenever we had businesses, it felt like we couldn't really show them that much on our show.
What business, Nene? Because they did show your store. We've seen the store. Y'all shot things in that store. The fact that no one shot at your store. We've seen plenty of shows. We've seen plenty of things for stuff that Candy had going on. We've seen you shoot scenes in your store. We've seen it. The clothing store you had, the one you had in Atlanta, and the one you had, was it in Miami? We've seen it. You didn't have much.
But on their show, all they do is talk about their businesses. And all they do
is business. That's the crazy part.
Girl. Is, talk about launching their makeup lines or their clothing lines or their whatever they're doing. And I don't feel like we were able to do that as much. So I just wasn't given the opportunities that she was giving.
We've seen Cynthia Wine Cellar. We've seen Cynthia's, the Cynthia Bailey Agency. We've seen Kenya Moore Hair Care. We've seen Phaedra lose cases. We've seen people. We've seen Phaedra act like she wanted to be a goddamn mortician.
I want to play a game with you because
I don't play games.
You were famous for saying some people are stars and starless.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say some names, and I want you to tell me if they're stars or starless. Giselle Bryant,
starless.
I agree. I don't see Giselle girl. I don't see Giselle as a star. I see her as someone on Potomac, but I don't see her as a star. So I can agree with that.
Robin Dixon,
starless.
I agree.
Kenya Moore,
in between. Star his.
Kenya's a star. When I say star, I mean somebody who has done a lot to be known. Like, Kenya not an A-list star, but she damn sure a good B-list star. Like, Kenya won't get turned away if she's at an event. Giselle and Robin probably would.
I don't know. I think honestly,
I made brownies.
Can I talk about Kenya a few minutes? I feel like there was a moment when Kenya could have been this big star because she was to the black community, because she was Miss USA and she was this beautiful black Barbie that had won that pageant. And I feel like coming on Housewives changed how people saw her and viewed her. I think showing her mean side or whatever side that was aggressive or in your face side, I think the people that enjoyed watching pageants enjoyed her as Miss USA. When they saw her in that role, they were kind of like shocked, like, oh my gosh, she's like a villain, because she was a villain. And I think it changed how people felt about her.
I seen an interview that Kenya did on Way Up With Ye. Go to Way Up With Ye on YouTube. Emily. She interviewed Kenya. And when she brought up how Kenya came on the show, I love what Kenya said. Kenya said, I was a mess back then. My life was a mess back then. And how I acted was because my life was a mess. And the reason I'm different now is because I've gotten my life together. I feel like when Kenya first came on Housewives, even I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with Kenya? She's a lot. And hearing her say now, I was a mess back then. And I was just like, it was my life was a mess. That's what it was. It makes sense to me now. Because when you ain't right in life, shit be all out of whack. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that she said, like, I was just in a bad place and whatever, I'm better now. So I feel like, Nene, like, oh, well, Kenya was a villain. To me, Kenya said, no, it was fucked up. I was fucked up there, and I'm not no more. Nene, what's your excuse?
Because people really put her on a pedestal and looked at her one way. And then once she stepped onto Housewives, I think they saw her another way. So I do think there was a moment where Kenya was a star. And I think I would have to say that reality didn't help her star. That may be a better way to say it.
What about Portia?
I think Portia has star potential. And I think with the right people around her, I think there is a potential.
Phaedra?
I don't see Phaedra as a star, not as a TV star or
Me neither.
anything like that. I always view Phaedra, as more corporate or entrepreneur-like. I don't see her like TV star. I see her like entrepreneur star.
Candy?
I don't see Candy as, I've never, and so I can't even pretend today, I've never seen Candy as a star.
Which one do I want to use? Because I'm like,
I just feel like, ma'am, you are reaching.
That's a lot. I'm like, girl.
Shut up. That is so stupid.
It's laughable.
Why would she say that?
Oh, what? You've never seen Candy as a star. Okay.
I have seen Candy as a supporting star, but not as the star, but as a supporting star.
Claudia Jordan?
Starless.
Who won between you and Claudia in Puerto Rico?
I'm always the winner, and so I obviously won. But I will give Claudia this, although she said the most nastiest things about me, and she's been holding on to a grudge for 100,000 years. I'm going to give her this. I've read many of girls, honey, and I've been on this show with many girls. I would have to say that she was probably my number one battle.
Bitch.
She was definitely right up there to battle with. Yeah, I don't think that there's not been one other girl that could probably battle the way she did, because I took her through it, and I feel like she took me through it. And so I feel like we gave each other a run. And not many girls can give me a run, so I will give her. I feel like she definitely stood up.
And I want people to know this, too. You told me and Joy after that scene between you and Claudia, because Demetria was being positioned as a peach holder. And you told me and Joy, y'all picked the wrong bitch.
That's right.
And Claudia, I want people to know that, because you're not this hater.
No.
You always did what was best for the show.
I did.
You said that bitch Claudia, she's good. Y'all need to give her a peach.
Y'all done got rid of Portia. You need to give Claudia the motherfucking peach, because Claudia was really going toe to toe with me, and I will give her that every single time. Although she wants to feel like I ripped her toes apart and pulled her Hello Kitty out, honey. At the end of the day, girl, you stood up, honey. I will give you that much, girl. You stood up, honey, because the reeds were coming. I was pulling them up from under my wig. I am not lying. That's because she was giving me a run.
Everything. We were, me and the producer were in the back like this. Yo, what the fuck is
she was
happening?
giving me a run, and I was like, girl, I'm going to have to win now. And so I was going hard, but she was hard too. So, she wasn't easy. She wasn't easy. She did her part. She earned her peach.
So not Kenya, not Sheree, not Kim, Claudia Jordan.
Claudia earned her peach. Kim can't read me, child. You know better. But, they can all try. But I must say that Claudia definitely stood up. She stood up. She wasn't afraid.
When it's all said and done, Nene, what would you like your legacy to be?
Oh, God. I don't know what I want my legacy to be. What I do know is that I want people to know that my heart is bigger than this entire room. I am a lovable person.
Lies. I'm not going to say lies. Nene lovable but delusional.
There's no hate ever in my heart. Ever when you see me, there's no hate, and I have no ill feelings towards anybody that I've ever worked with.
Why is she lying? Like, she literally. What?
Honestly, I tell it like it is. It is what it is, and over time you get over it. I just want people to know that I'm a good person, and I always on this platform fought for women.
Wait.
And I don't feel like people fought for me, but I definitely fought for the women I thought that should be in position. Yes, Claudia, I fought for you, girl.
You did.
You got that peach, honey. Yes. Now you can keep talking about me as all you want to. Okay? I fought for a lot of people. Yes, Portia, I fought for you. You're on here. Cynthia, hello. Thank you.
But you never fought for yourself to have your own brand. Okay.
I did. I don't feel like it was all returned, but that's okay because you don't do things for things to be returned.
You do. You're not supposed to, but you do.
They will all come back in due time. Now, this is the moment where, yes, microphone, I'm here for, this is the moment where I have to turn.
Okay, go ahead, I'm ready.
Yes, honey, cross your legs and do not edit it out.
No, we're gonna keep this. Let's go.
Okay, so, you worked behind the scenes when I was on the show for so many seasons. Do you feel that I was always giving fair treatment?
Well, this is the thing. I feel like because the show was new and all of us were very new to this, I felt like we were all underestimated. 1,000.
And that's, to me, when Carlos did not say, well, yeah, I saw that. His thing is saying, I think everyone was underestimated because we all were new. Honestly, we all were black, but we was all new.
1,000%. I know that my passion and me being so maniacal in terms of making the show great was because we were black people. And I know that as black people, we're always underestimated and we don't get our just due. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Right.
And I know that when it came to this show, you girls worked your asses off and deserved to be number one.
Yeah.
And I felt like when it came to you, look, I think what happens is there's no instruction manual of what it's like to handle fame.
Yeah.
And to be known within this local city and then to be an international success. And I think people just did not know what to do with you.
Bullshit. Nene was a grown woman who was on the show got popular, and Carlos saying people did not know what to do with you is a cop-out. Because Nene just changed after she felt like she was bigger than the show. And when Nene probably was getting the most weird treatment, Carlos wasn't even there. So I feel like for him to make it seem as if, well, no one knew what to do with you, so that's why things went how they went. No, ma'am, no, sir, no, thank you. Because what? That is hilarious. But Nene felt like she was above reproach. And when people got tired of dealing with her shit, they asked to kiss how she did to the people. I don't think any of that has to do with people did not know what to do with Nene. I think Nene only knows how to be Nene. And eventually, that gets boring. So once she tried to leave the show and it did not work and she came back, they did not know what to do with her ego and her attitude.
They just didn't know. It was like, wait, what? What's going on here? Like, wait, what? And I do feel like you may be the most underrepresented reality star in the world. You are. I think you deserve a walk on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I think you should have talk shows and podcast deals, and you should be on Netflix scripted shows. I see some reality stars who have opportunities that I think like, oh, Nene should have had that years ago.
But it's Nene fault that she don't. Example, Tammy Roman. Tammy Roman is just as, or she was, sassy, quick-witted, will cuss somebody out, and all the same things that I feel like was Nene as well. Tammy just knew how to be entertaining outside of a reality show. Tammy, who has gotten into acting, at one point Tammy did have a little podcast. She's done some what was it called when you do like improv stuff with the Tammy, the Bonnet Chronicles. And Tammy did not allow anyone to be her maker. Nene keeps wanting other people to make her into something. She wanted Ryan, the dude, the Glee guy, the guy who do all the Glee stuff and do all the McHorror stuff. She wanted him to make her an actress. She wanted Andy and them to make her own show. She consistently wants other people to make her something because of who she thinks she is to them. And you have Tammy, who went on to do many other shows. You know, New York, who has been on different reality shows, but stayed relevant in a way that Nene has not. Even Candy, who Nene say is boring, is on different shows and doing good, doing different things in acting. Cynthia, who say, you know, people who Nene act like doesn't have the it factor is out here doing it. Nene can only be one way. She can't break, she can't bend, she can't act like anything else. And in this world of entertainment, you have to be different. Yeah, even Maddie. You know, Maddie, who had the thing with her and Kaya, it went to shit. Okay, that whole Kaya and Maddie situation could have ruined a lot of shit. And Maddie turned that shit into gold. You hear me? And Nene keeps blaming other people. And Carlos, who to me is fake as fuck, because he's not being honest and saying, you need to try to be something other than Nene from Housewives. And that's all Nene is. That's it. It's even me. I can be different folk. I can emote different emotions, different stories, different watch-alongs, all require different energies. That's why y'all could be right here watching me for fucking 3 hours and still be entertained and then do the rewatch too. Nene don't have that. Nene only wants other people to make her famous. And that's it.
I know that you have paved the way for Black reality stars, the females. I know that there's females that you're not talking about in reality TV, who shall remain nameless, who
put a name on it,
have looked you dead in the eye and said, what do I do? Like, they look up to you. You paved the way. Tammy Roman says that. Tiffany Pollard even says that.
I don't think Tammy or Tiffany said in a way as she's better than, Nene's better than us. And she's paid. I feel like they both feel like Tiffany, and I'm my opinion, is Tiffany Pollard and Tammy means the same way that we've paved the way in our own thing, so has Nene. Nene ain't the queen bee. She ain't. Because she ain't did shit outside of the Housewives of Atlanta. Even Tiffany has done many different reality shows. Nene did Housewives, Apprentice, and BET's College Hill. Tammy been on Real World, Homecoming, Basketball Wives. She's on Truth Be Told, Miss Pat Show, Unfaithful, The Family Business. She doing shit. Tiffany had her own shows, Flavor of Love. You know, she's been doing shit for years. We need to admit, Nene has been on one show for years and has not done much else to keep herself in the limelight enough to not need Bravo.
You literally are the queen. And I do feel like when it comes to where things are now, it does sadden me. I just don't understand why you aren't on network television, reading The Girls Were Filled, having a good time. And I do agree with you. I think if not bigger, you should be on the same level as Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
When your friends are delusional too, that's why Nene crazy, because her friends is crazy as hell.
Excuse me, why? Get the tear out the side of my eye.
Don't cry, bitch. But no, I think, listen, I'm happy we're doing this because, listen, we all make mistakes. And I think we all can look back on our time and say, I should have done that differently. I could have handled that better. My hope for you and the people involved in this situation, from Andy to Bravo to the companies, I just want you guys to have a conversation.
I don't need look. Somebody once said to me, I'm not going to go there. My point is, when someone publicly says things about you that can ruin your reputation with the people, we don't need to sit down and have any conversation, because you could have sat down and talked to me before. And if you privately say shit to me that I feel questions my character, I can't fuck with you. Because why you think that? So Nene worked for years with somebody who she said is discriminating and racist and, you know what I'm saying, all this thing. Girl, shut up. And Carlos said, I just want to have. They don't need one, because Nene keeps saying the same shit over and over and over again. And Nene and Carlos wants a conversation to happen when Nene ain't said sorry for what she said.
I think if people were in a room without the lawyers and people in your ear, I know for a fact that a 3-hour lunch can eradicate all of this.
No, if you publicly call me out, I don't want to have no fucking private ass lunch. No, go on your same platform and tell me sorry, bitch.
And it's sad. I'm not gonna cry. It saddens me deeply that I have to sit back and watch a woman who paved the way even for me to be able to sit in this room across from you. And it makes me sad, because it's not okay. And I do feel like I feel like when it comes to you, you've done so much for this industry. And I feel like you've done so much for this genre.
I just feel like, ma'am, you are reaching.
Everybody. And I hate that people can't make mistakes, say dumb shit,
Right.
and not say, okay, bitch, let's figure it out. You and I have falling out. Like, me and you went toe to toe.
Yeah.
And we got back together because it wasn't that deep. And what you're going through, to me, just isn't that fucking deep. Get the fuck over it. Sit down. Have the conversation. It's stupid as fuck. I think it's dumb. I really do believe if everybody was in the room for 3 hours and just talked it out, yell at each other, bitch, you did that, and in the end say, okay, well, we got it out. Let's move on. It pains me. It pains me because it doesn't have to be this way. And I feel like ego gets in the way. But with you, I really want you to know that you deserve so much more than what this world is giving you. And I feel horrible that you are going through what you're going through. This bitch got me crying on TV. Anyways, continue.
Oh my God. So I know you've been watching Real Housewives, the new seasons. Oh my God, it's like,
I had to put on a little background music because I gotta find a violin, because if you don't get out of my face and sing, I I had to cut on the background music because I'm looking like y'all over here on some bullshit. When Carlos cried over Martell, we knew then it was a fake shit. You crying over Nene, but won't tell her Nene. Say sorry.
Oh my goodness. I know you're watching the new seasons of Housewives, so what do you think that Real Housewives of Atlanta needs?
A clean slate. I think, look, and I just gotta be honest. I think the reason why
So
people...
Sweet 16 is coming.
What's that?
Season 16.
Oh, Sweet 16. Oh, that's so funny. No, listen, I think...
Nene will not be on season 16.
No one is showing up to work.
That's true.
No one's showing up to work. I remember coming to your boutique and...
Her boutique, y'all know Nene had a boutique in a long time.
You were, I think this was season 10 or 11. And you said, bitch, they don't know what to do without you. She said, these girls walk around like, what do we do? Carlos ain't here, bitch. What are we doing?
Because you put a...
Carlos can't get his own show to get 500,000 views. He can't fix his own shit right now. And Carlos may have more subscribers than me. He might have more views than me because he's on a bigger platform, but he ain't as entertaining as me.
Battery in their bag. You do. You have told Kenya everything to say. You like, now go.
Oh, no,
yes, you do. You put a battery in
and
this
you
girl's
always thought
bag.
Kenya was my favorite.
Yes. You. Now, who's your favorite, though?
I love all of y'all equally.
No, that's a lie. Who's your favorite, honey? Kenya's always been your favorite.
You said Sheree was at one point.
Around and like Sheree, too.
I love, I'll be honest. I have a very, listen, you and I have this chemistry that's undeniable, and we have this love, and people just, it's infectious.
Yeah, but besides that, honey,
No, listen.
keep it 1,000. You love talking to Sheree.
I do love
you
Sheree.
would sneak around and love Marlo on the side, too.
I do love her. No, that's the thing. I do. I love the girls.
You do. You would sneak around.
I love the girls.
You know what? I feel like you're like Janet Jackson. She would say that her relationships with her siblings would change. Like, okay, Michael would be her favorite for a little while. And then
Ooh,
she switched
that's
to Latoya being her
good.
favorite. And then she said that's how it
That's
was
good.
because she's in a big family. So I feel like you would switch. Like, right now, Nene's my favorite. And then later on, you'd be like, you know what? Sheree's my favorite. Right
Okay,
Kenya's my favorite.
I receive that. That's
You
the
switch.
answer.
You
I would
switch.
switch.
Yeah.
It would depend on the season. It would depend on the season. There you go.
Okay, besides me, who on Housewives or who's been on Housewives that you feel is a star? Okay, there aren't any.
No, I do. No. Listen, if I had to choose one, I think Kenya is a star.
Okay.
I would.
Yeah.
Can you imagine sitting with your old coworker and discussing the job y'all both get fired from, and all y'all can talk about is how y'all been watching and stalking the folks who still work and y'all don't, and y'all keep bringing up old shit or whatever, and neither one of y'all have moved on. One of y'all ain't even working no more. The other one is not working somewhere else, whatever. But you still focus on that old job, bitch. I could never.
Yeah, because as I said,
Once I'm gone. I'm gone. Don't talk to me about shit. I don't work there no more. I don't live there no more. I don't know them coworkers. I don't know nothing. Don't bring up old shit. Let's keep it moving. You would not be around here interviewing me, asking me about shit I've been done with, I got fired from, I quit from, I left from, however Nene wants to address it. You would not be interviewing me and only discussing people I don't talk to in real life right now. A place I don't work at no more. I always say when someone leaves a job or gets fired from a job or walks away from a job, you got 1 year to talk your shit. After that, that shit don't exist no more. Nene been gone from Housewives since season 12. They're showing season 15 right now. Carlos been gone since I don't know when. He been gone since like season 9. You don't even know the production around there no more. So the fact that they had a 3-hour tour discussing fucking Gilligan's Island, which was canceled, I'm saying
I feel like there was a moment when I feel like Kenya was a star, and then I feel like reality TV made people be like, I don't know if I like her.
Yeah. So I would say Kenya.
And she's your favorite. So I knew you would say that.
Whatever. I don't have any favorites this season.
For the men, because that's another thing I would say, and would you agree that when we were on, the men played a very big
Oh, 100%.
part of the show, and I don't feel like we hear about the men anymore as much. And the men, we did a couple strip. You remember we used to do a strip and stuff like that. And so, who's your favorite couple? Who has your favorite couple been?
The men on the show now, we see Todd and Ross, Ralph. You know, we've seen my other husband, Heath. But the show have never been about the men, ever.
Oh, and listen, I will go on the record. Nene and Greg. No one will ever top Nene and Greg. I would call him dad.
Do you think the men should be more involved?
Yes, absolutely. The problem is these women don't want to pay the men 15% of their check anymore.
I never gave my husband 15%.
No, that was
of my
different.
check.
No, that's the thing Peter and Cynthia talked about.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a certain level of producing and understanding that show needs. It's the DNA. I do say, like Destiny's Child, there's a certain level of camaraderie and people that you need. And I feel like everyone's bored. I feel like no one knows what they're doing. I feel like people are there for the wrong reasons. And it's always about the intention. And the intention of everyone involved is not at its highest at all.
Okay. Again, Carlos, are you worried about the wrong shit, Carlos? Does your cast know what they doing, Carlos? Can the views of your cast go up? Because Love and Married Detroit has horrible reviews. I just watched episode 1 yesterday. And I got 5 more episodes to go. And I live here. Also, I ain't heard nobody in Detroit discuss this goddamn show. So all I'm saying is you are so informative about Housewives of Atlanta. But your shows ain't doing the best.
Okay.
No.
So if you had to pick a cast for season Sweet 16, who would it be?
Okay, and you have the answer too.
Oh, why?
Because you do. And this is my real answer. Nene, Kim, Sheree, Kenya, Portia, Phaedra, and Candy.
I don't see Phaedra being it. I mean,
Well,
Phaedra's
that's my dream. I feel like we were robbed of getting a Candy and Phaedra conversation.
I do too. Now, I've always said that.
I feel like
I thought that was very
and I'm gonna
unfair
say
to
it,
the
and I'm gonna
viewers,
say
too.
it.
First of all, we would have loved if Phaedra would have brought her ass around here and admitted to and acknowledged and took accountability for what she did. Phaedra never did that. Phaedra was on girls trip and still would not address it. Wanna know why? Because she ain't shit. So we weren't robbed of anything. Phaedra don't want to accept what she did. Phaedra was, I think they sat Phaedra down at least one season. And even while she was sitting down off the show, Phaedra never wanted to acknowledge what she did to Candy. She stayed quiet for years. And that's on her.
Stand on the tail.
Me too.
Vanderpump Rules, those white kids said we're dealing with something devastating and crazy, and we're all going to show up and work.
Because they all want money. They're all children who have always been messy. Candy and Phaedra and all them, they're grown women and don't need the attention. Phaedra chose to not want to discuss what she did. And truth be told, on Vanderpump Rules, that fucking cheese scandal wasn't even that big of a deal. Because they all fucking each other. And now they all filming this season. Why? Because they want the money. Not because the show is amazing. Because it's some messy ass kid shit.
And we all get to show our story. And now this show is nominated for an Emmy. I feel like, listen, I'm not here to judge what people did. It doesn't involve me. It's whatever.
Right.
God is the only person who can judge us. As a producer, I feel like at the end of the day, to your point, if she can forgive Portia, why can't, and we got a chance to see that.
That's right.
We should have saw that with Phaedra. And
Phaedra did not want to do it. And even if it was because Candy did not want to talk to her, that Candy had that right. If Phaedra was not reaching out to Candy by pigeon, by email, by text message, by anything, Phaedra should have been consistently reaching out to Candy privately to fix shit off camera. She didn't. And Candy chose to stay mad. I would have too. Fuck Phaedra.
because we did not see Phaedra and Candy deal with that.
Right. and Portia did not concoct the lie. Shut up, Carlos. Shut up, Nene.
The aftermath, it ruined the show.
And it's been years. They could have. She didn't have to be a regular on the show. They should have sat down.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know.
It would have been the highest rated season, and it may have been Emmy nominated.
Well, they control those nominations, so I don't know about all of that. Do you think it's time to have a gay couple on the Real Housewives franchise?
Yeah.
I mean, some lesbians.
Listen, I'm all about making sure the shows represent where we are in the world, and I like the fact that we get to showcase different couples, for sure, yeah. Who is your, if you were able to cast the Sweet 16, who would be on your list?
First of all, I don't even know the girls that are on the show over there. I would not say myself. I would say Portia for sure. I think Portia's quite entertaining. I think you have to have Candy because she's been there for so long and people feel like, you know, for whatever reason, Candy needs to be there, and that way Candy can get red, and she needs to be there. Marlo?
Honey, I think Nene forgot Candy will read her ass for Phil too. I'm the same.
Oh, it's good there.
I
think Kenya will be there.
I'm not gonna do it.
I have had a few run-ins with Drew. Just he used to patronize my lounge a lot. So I have I think she's good there. I think I like seeing Drew on the show.
I thought you didn't watch the show.
I don't have anyone else that I would say at the moment. I can't say Phaedra, and I can't say Sheree.
Okay.
I don't mind Kim if she's coming to go to work.
Fuck Kim. Okay, fuck Kim.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, because a lot of times she doesn't come to work. So that would be an issue there. Okay. I also think they need to find somebody new. There's so many fabulous girls in Atlanta, Georgia, who has personalities and they have great husbands.
If you want production to find somebody new for the show, why don't you stop talking about the show that you not own no more?
And I think they need some new blood on the show as well. I think all of the friends that are currently on the show, I don't know what they're doing. Just the thought of Manetta, and I think
I don't know who on the show. I don't know who's on the show. Not Manetta on the show. I thought you didn't watch the show.
There's a girl who's a housewife. What's her name? She run track.
Sonia.
Sonia. I didn't know. I've met her before. She seems very nice. I just don't feel like she's a housewife. She don't give me that housewife feeling. I think her and Maya, they can say goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they are it for the show.
But you don't watch the show, right? Okay.
Well, that's that.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I think you should be doing in-person interviews.
Okay,
I don't
will.
think that you should do them on Zoom. I just don't think it looks cute with your sneakers in the background. I think you should have some nice background like this, and the guest should always be sitting with you. You make enough money where you can fly them in coach, rather. And they can upgrade their own ticket. And I think you should do in-person. I think it's just so much more fun, and I think you'll get so much more out of it.
Okay.
And I feel like the viewers would really enjoy it. I also agree with everything that you said about me because it's all true. Sure, I should be doing so much more.
Yes, and you will, and you will.
I'm okay with it, though. I think God has a plan for me.
He does.
And it's
He never
okay.
misses.
Yeah, so I'm good. I'm very good right now.
Feed into Him.
Yes.
And He will give you, Psalm 37:4, delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart.
I think I'm going to be just fine.
I know you are going to be. Would you do Love and Marriage Atlanta?
I'm not in a marriage.
Does she even live in Atlanta still?
And I don't even have a current love. I guess my eyes are loving on some people, but I'm not currently in love with anybody.
Okay.
I'm not in a relationship. But
not him asking her about a show that she can't be on, because that she said, I'm not married and I'm also not even in love.
But if they want a single girl on the show to flirt with their husbands, sure. Because every show has a single person, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't mind being this. This will be the first time in my life I've ever done anything where I'm like the single person.
Okay.
So you never know. By the time Love and Marriage Atlanta hits Atlanta, maybe I'll be available. Or maybe I'll be in a relationship.
Okay.
You never know. So are you planning to do that?
Only if I'm able to get you.
Well, you can only have stars around me. I don't want those tired girls that you go and drag up from some other old show and you're sitting them over here.
Now that was shade to Monique from Potomac.
I do not want that. So, think about that. I have some great ideas. You have to have good girls.
No, and I have a great idea. You and I should go on tour together.
Bullshit.
I love to go on tour.
Bullshit.
What are we going to be talking about?
Anything.
Bullshit.
I wanna do a tour with you.
Well, let's go.
Where
We
we're
can
going
start
city to
next
city
weekend.
and just talk.
Oh, people would love to come.
Yes.
People would love to come, the girls and the gays, honey, out for a conversation.
There we go.
This has been really great.
Thank
I've
you.
enjoyed it. I'm happy that I came at a time when I was ready. Well, first, let me go back for a second before I say that. I noticed that you had the Real Housewives, the OGs, and I wasn't a part of that. Was that the time that you called me?
Yes.
And I said I wasn't ready?
Yes, it was.
Oh, but you didn't tell me that it was going to be
You never know. So just to go back to that, each girl did not know it was going to be a reunion.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was surprised.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's why I said no. Had I known it was going to be a whole group, I would have said, oh, maybe I'll come.
Okay, well, listen.
But I'm glad those girls went on. I'm glad to have the seat by myself. I don't want to share the air.
Well, I think when you and I go on tour, we will invite Nene, not Nene, when you and I go on tour, we'll invite Kim, Sheree, Lisa, and Deshaun to sit on the stage with us.
I'm actually in a really good place right now.
I can tell.
I think this is the place. I don't know if you're looking, sir, but this is the place.
Well, Nene,
This is the place to be in.
Can't thank you enough. I love you. You're my sis forever.
You're mine too. I love you forever. Come on.
Anyway. That was the bullshit that was Nene and Carlos. It was some fugazi bullshit if you ask me. I did not plan on being here 3.5 hours, but y'all told me to be. Y'all said, watch, it's gonna be over 3 hours, and I said, no, it ain't, and that was a lie. Okay. I mean, people who are delusional and who follow Nene, and no matter what she do, they support her. They're gonna say that was an amazing interview. It was great. Nene needs to move on. Nene don't need to say nothing else about Bravo, about the Housewives, her and Carlos. If they were to do a tour, and if they were to come to Detroit, I would go. One, because I know it would be in a small venue, and I don't mind small venues. And two, I would go to tell y'all how bad it was. Carlos, focus on your shows. Nene, get a job. And I mean that respectfully. I mean that in the aspect of you can't keep relying on you being Nene from Housewives. Be Nene from something else. Anyway, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed tonight. Please make sure that you like the video. Please share the video. I hope you've already subscribed to my channel to become a JayBird, JayBird, and Zont. To follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. I will be live tomorrow night for a regular gossip chat for all the other foolishness going on in the world. So make sure to be here for that. Y'all do know I already have 2 other gossip chats up as premieres that came out yesterday on Monday and Tuesday. So go watch the other 2 if you have not done already. My Monday afternoon chit chat and then Tuesday morning chit chat. I also reviewed episode 1 of Love and Marriage Detroit. That is up as well. But a good time was had by all. I hope y'all enjoy. I am tired. I love you all. Love you all. Love you all. Okay. And until tomorrow night at 9 p.m., I will talk to y'all then. Be good. Be safe. Bye.